Yes.
That should be you, right? Cool.
You got Dude.
And
Bust out minis. It's so long. Probably have the wrong set.
Minis?
Yeah, I know. What am I doing?
What's wrong with you?
It's
the wrong
very
time.
wrong. I should have brought the modern ones.
What did it
Oh, hi, Leon.
oh, hi, Leon.
Yes.
How was your
Keep
walk?
right there.
It was very brief.
Your walk. It's speed pee.
Did you have success, Leon?
You guys ever go to Edinburgh and see the speed pee championships?
No.
It's great.
I've
How,
missed
how
that.
were they last year?
Acrid.
Gesundheit.
Although Edinburgh, from what I've heard, wouldn't be a bad place to hold such a competition.
That's why they do it.
The Great Asparagus Incident of 1983.
And 1987.
No!
And 1992. And 1995.
Not again!
I'm gonna have to see if I can normalize the levels to clip out that top end of everybody's laughter.
We're just all loud laughers.
Yeah, no, it's that, or we're all soft speakers in comparison.
Or you could be me and be both. Loud laughers, soft speakers.
Would it help if we cackled in our highest register?
I already do that naturally.
Like the hyenas from
Lion King?
There you go.
Where I thought you were going.
I'll never forget the first time Jason informed me that everyone in my family had a witch cackle.
That's not bad.
They do. I mean, that's not new information to anybody.
I wasn't really aware of it. All women in my family cackle like witches, apparently.
Sometimes you
Do
don't
you
notice
cackle like a witch?
Apparently.
She'd hear it. She does. Like,
No. No.
I mean, yeah, it's
Nice.
close.
It's up there.
You're a little pitchy, but it's getting close.
She doesn't quite peak as much. But
Okay.
Hey!
it's right there.
Enough.
Don't look at me.
Okay. Is everybody good to go in terms of their characters? And do they help
I think I'm
put
ready.
stuff together? Or
I think
all good to
you're
go?
ready. I think
I
so.
still need to actually get
I
you
mean, I don't really
the
remember what I
the
did last week.
NPC connection, but
Yeah, that's what I want to do right now. I want to get everybody's
sweet, cool.
character information, and then if you've got your NPC ready,
So it's a
just
shifter. I'm
give
not a
me
shifter.
the gist, and I will jot it down.
No, now. Oh. Foxy. That's it. Okay. What was that?
Just the whistle dog.
Okay, so let's go. Everybody, give me your character name, right? Your class. Your race, your class, in that order.
Okay.
And background will be helpful too.
Mhm.
And then your NPC contact, which I will jot down. Okay.
Oh, NPC contact. Okay. Oh, I do have that.
So, Steven?
I will be playing Kyoko, Kyoko.
Okay, thank you for spelling.
Yep.
Like, no, that was Lyoko. Code
Kyoko.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kyoko.
The Grey Vulpine.
Oh,
Ranger.
Did you have a last surname?
Oh
or?
no, just
Cool. All right.
yeah. For whatever reason, they set up the Vulpine with they tend to just have a name,
The single names. Yeah.
and then they tend to rotate through names a lot.
And you said Gray Vulpine.
Yep.
That's
As
the
opposed to a red one?
subclass.
Yes, as opposed to
Okay.
red or
Silver.
snow. Silver. Yeah.
Can you spell that one more time?
Yeah. Kyoko.
So these are fox
Kyoko.
people.
Yes.
Mhm.
Interesting.
And it turns out they're like 3 or 4 feet tall.
Oh, that's
They are
Goddamn
small.
adorable is what you're telling me.
nice.
And your class?
Class is Ranger.
Ranger. Got it.
Going for
Those
we'll be
furries,
going
man.
for the close ranged and shotgunny approach.
Are you playing Robin Hood?
No,
That would be awesome.
not quite.
Like the Disney, you know what I'm talking
Yeah.
about.
Yeah. I would have to learn that song.
And your background?
Background is beauty.
Interesting.
Everything
Beauty,
makes
huh?
sense so far. Yeah.
Well, gray, not
If you
red.
look like a fox, it's hard
So,
to be ugly.
Robin Hood was definitely a red.
This is correct.
Okay, Trey.
People wonder where furries came from.
I'm not.
That is one of the main sources. I can let you know this.
I'm aware.
I'm a tabaxi.
I'm surrounded by animals.
You are.
Yep.
You are.
At least
You're gonna
this
have
half the
pretty-
table.
I'm a half orc, so I'm kind of an animal.
Hey. It's racist.
That's right. Not crazy about the way tabaxi names are formed, but I'm going with it.
They're interesting.
Yeah. My name is Wind in the Sand,
Okay.
and people just call me Sandy.
Nice.
Oh,
Awesome.
That was good. That was good.
Thank you. Thank
I
you.
like it.
I'm an explorer. I'm sorry, I'm a scholar of the explorer subtype.
Okay. So you're a Tabaxi scholar.
Yes. And my background is urchin.
Do you get your
And is
subclass at level 1?
Yes. At least I think I do. I should look at that again.
Well, even if you don't get any benefits
I'm
from
still
the
heading
subclass,
that
you're
way.
still heading in that direction,
Yeah.
so that's helpful. Lance.
Karaka. K-A-R-A-K-A. Karaka.
Kyoko, Karaka,
Sandy.
Sandy.
K-A-R what?
A.
Karaka, K-A-R-A-K-A.
Yeah.
Like Baraka,
But with a K.
the
Mortal Kombat.
Mortal Kombat villain. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I was thinking about the movie.
Is everybody so
Oh,
far?
yeah.
Is everybody so far male?
Female.
Female. Thank you.
Yes.
That's fine.
Thank you. I don't even know why I didn't put that.
Think about that.
Isn't on the list.
I used the whole line.
No!
I just put a tiny F
Yeah.
and in
Don't look
above.
under their tails is fine.
So,
Don't assume.
Don't you
assume
dare look
anything.
under my
so
tail.
Kyoko's female and everybody else is male so far?
So
So far.
Okay.
cleric for now.
What's your? Well, you have half orc cleric. that's
Half
right.
orc cleric.
I like this.
What's your?
He wants to be a paladin.
What's your?
With an 8 charisma, it's not happening.
What's your religious persuasion?
Morden. I think the dwarven god of the forge.
Oh, torture, yeah.
Because I
And
was
your-
raised by a dwarven woman.
Morden.
Oh,
Is that right? Morden.
Moradin.
I think it's Morden.
Yeah, Moradin. I think there are 2 R's.
Moradin. Gotta kind of trill the R.
Yeah, you kind of
You definitely have to.
Yeah.
Right.
It's dwarvish.
It's at the back end because it's under the racial gods.
Moradin.
One R.
One R.
Alright.
Dwarf god of creation. Yeah. And what was your background? I'm sorry.
Acolyte.
Acolyte. That's right.
It's the most appropriate.
Rachel.
You'll notice I did not remember my glasses today. So I've got
Leras.
Always remember your backup though.
That's right.
L-E-R-A-A.
I can't forget them.
L-E-R-A-S. Leras.
It's fine.
L-E-R-A-S.
Okay.
Trislee. T-R-I-S.
What is that?
L-E.
Trick.
Trislee.
What is Trick?
That's my
Just
last
that's your
name.
surname.
Oh, okay. I was like, that's is that a class
T-R-I-S-Lee?
or?
Okay. All right. Female. Okay. Race and class.
I'm a half-elf.
Half-elf.
Atavist.
Atavist. Okay. What's your background?
Ex-cultist.
Oh, right. Yes.
That's awesome.
Better than current cultist.
I swear I'm out.
I've been clean for years.
You know, I still like, crush a frog into my drink every now and then, but like,
Yeah,
never
yeah.
mind.
It's for the flavor, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Just have it.
G.
Yeah.
Might be an addiction.
The name
poison
will be
gets to me.
Gabriel Tharma.
Gabriel, Gabriel.
Yep.
What was that? Tharma?
Tharma.
Okay. Male, I assume?
Male, tinker, elf. That's race.
Mm-hmm.
Background, clockmaker.
And you're an artificer. That's right.
Indeed.
Background is clockmaker.
If we're going, steampunk and everything, just might as well collect everything.
Oh, yeah, I know.
Embrace
All or
the
nothing.
It's like this class players who just have everything on them. Just clock corks everywhere, even though it's not necessary.
No. Stylish though. Yeah.
Yeah, it looks cool. It looks cool, although I have to ask why you need a gear on your head.
Well, that's thinking.
Why not?
Exactly. It looks awesome. I cannot argue with that.
Thinking head.
Aesthetic.
Yes, pure aesthetic.
If you put a clock in there, people won't ask you. Excuse me. Oh, I see.
Just come up to you. All right. Thanks.
Makes sense to me.
Okay, so
Oh, we didn't give
Face
you our.
is up here.
we're just about to do it.
Okay.
Face is up here.
My arms are up here.
Right here.
No, my hands are up here. And eyes.
Face a clock.
Okay, so Kyoko, your NPC is whom?
Takako? Takako?
No, neither of us.
Like taco with a stutter.
Yeah.
Takako.
Yep.
Okay, who is a
police chief and mother.
your mother.
Yes.
Okay.
Specifically.
Blood relative.
Blood relative mother. Yes. So another fox folk like me.
Relative and a police chief. In La Marasma or one of the external settlements?
I'd assume frontier. I feel like La Marasma might be a little too big.
Sure.
Too crowded for you.
Yeah.
Police. Okay, so Takako, mother, blood relative, police chief, frontier town. Got it.
Yep.
Okay. Trey.
My NPC is my contact is Sandra Luke.
Sandra, S-A-N-D-R-A.
Yes,
Luke.
Luke, L-O-O-C-K.
Okay.
Sandra Luke. She is a scholar of history, and she's sort of. I haven't figured out exactly in what way, but she's sort of disgraced. I think it's. I've been thinking that it's got something to do with the fact that her scholarship is unfashionable. She's digging into things that no one else gives a crap
Her
about.
handwriting is terrible. Oh no!
I mean,
Not like this.
academia, they might actually do it for you.
Oh yeah.
And what? I assume it's a female. What is she? A
Especially
human?
in a world
Or?
with no typewriters.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah. Why not? I hadn't thought that through very carefully, but I don't see why she shouldn't be.
It's up to you. I mean, she could be a female anything, with
Yeah.
or a male anything with the name of Sandra. So.
Yeah.
Doesn't use
I'm gonna
commas.
call her human.
No
Okay, female
Oxford
human,
here.
obviously disgraced, unfashionable. Okay.
Yeah.
How dare.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
She and I, she did not raise me. She didn't take me into her home and whatnot. But I was a curious urchin.
Guided you. So.
Yeah, she did. She
More
was sort of
mentor.
my rock in my sort of turbulent and highly inquisitive childhood, and she sort of focused me on scholarship. And now I help her try to sort out the history of La Marasma,
Okay.
find out how long it's been here, who built it.
And then figure out what belongs in a museum.
Yeah.
Right.
She's your professor sponsor.
Belongs
Yeah.
in a museum.
She's. If this were modern, if this were the modern university system, she would be my dissertation advisor.
Yes. Yeah.
So actually, that's very helpful. I'm going to put Wynn's dissertation advisor. Or Sandy's dissertation advisor.
guess it could just be academic advisor at this point.
Depends on
Got
the
it.
turn.
Okay. Karaka.
This is the.
Your
NPC.
name started in all caps for some reason.
I mean,
Shouting
half-orc.
it at full,
Yeah,
full volume.
that's how they spell
Half
it.
orcs run everything.
Block print. Military stencil.
Chanut Forkbeard.
Oh.
Beard.
Now you're gonna have to spell the first part.
Canute.
And then
Is there a little city under the sea?
fork beard.
Forkbeard.
Fork beard.
Forkbeard.
Okay.
A beard
Like
that has
Sven Forkbeard.
Male
Famous
dwarf.
dwarf.
Female dwarf.
Female dwarf. Okay.
It's got history too. Didn't realize.
And what is she to you?
Raiser of me.
Okay, so guardian.
Yeah. Single parent.
Got it.
Works at the Ironworks. Or equivalent.
Ironworks. Got it. But of course, not your actual mother.
No. Yeah.
Hey man, magic and stuff. I have to ask these questions.
No, it's like your character might even think that she's your real mother.
I mean,
Like she never told you that you're not.
I think she's a priest of Mordain, but all she has is, like, the cross or whatever.
Probably a hammer would be my guess.
Thanks, yeah. Or maybe like a little anvil.
Religious iconography.
Your int is 12. You're doing all right.
Oh yeah, you're fine.
Yeah.
You got plenty of
You're
smart
actually
food here.
educated.
Now. She's kind of a grumpy old grouch, just...
She's a dwarf.
Yeah,
She's a dwarven woman. That kind of makes sense.
Yeah. Survivor.
Yeah.
The working woman.
Sorry, that was racist, wasn't it?
What was?
Me saying she's grumpy old well, she's a dwarf.
No, in that case, that's just fact.
Yeah.
Fantasy racism.
So, Leras?
Well, my mother's dead. I put her. I have a twin brother.
Twin brother. Twin half brother or twin full brother?
No, I'm gonna go twin brother.
Twin brother. Okay, what's his name?
Liam.
Liam.
Love a good Liam.
Twin
We're gonna have a lot
brother.
of.
He is still in the cult,
Am I doing the math wrong on that, or is that...
so we're that kind of estranged.
What?
The backstory is basically that they
Don't
know.
I can't
killed
think of
our
a way that
mother
could happen.
in the cult,
She's not
and it made me estranged from the cult, and he just swallowed the Kool-Aid.
Sure.
Because he wants to be recognized
That's
by
oddly appropriate.
our wonderful.
idiom.
So cool.
Yeah, he wants to be recognized by
True believer.
our lovely father who killed our mom.
But if he swallowed the Kool-Aid, then wouldn't he be dead?
Well,
Maybe it works different
just,
in this
you know.
in this world.
He just
but the Kool-Aid
drank the
Man does
proverbial
exist.
Kool-Aid. How about
Right.
that?
Right.
Oh, yeah!
He would if
It's a level
asked to.
15 or CR 15.
He would if
Yeah.
asked to.
CR-15 demolition.
I can pull up the stats for the Kool-Aid
Yeah.
Man. If you guys want to fight the Kool-Aid Man. I got it.
Later in campaign, like your story arc,
His,
just
his
like
open the
ends
gates
there.
roll is
It's
super
the
high.
Kool-Aid Man.
Yeah.
I like it.
What was it? Ben Bars and open door? Yeah, his open door roll is real high.
And Gabriel.
Yeah.
So you had a twin as well, right?
So, I used to. So, it's complicated.
Sure.
Just a little.
Yeah.
You
So,
got time.
I wanted to go with that story that I was high elf, right? Used to be.
Okay.
And I moved to La Marasma with first of the batches of the settlers.
Mm-hmm.
So it turned, researching the essences or stones, what they get in the mines and the dwarven stuff,
Mhm.
turned me into Tinker Elf.
Sure. Yeah.
But my first original idea, just getting there, was the reason because my sibling twin, coincidentally, was cursed by magic,
Mhm.
and I did a lot of research with them, and I had to kill my sibling. So since then, I pretty much carry its corpse with me, and I came here to Marasma because I heard that there's this guy, Parnak Velo, ParnakVellow.
Okay.
I don't know who he is or she, but just the rumors that he can help me with nature of my problem, and just I don't like the way they put souls of mortals in crystals and put them into machines. So that's not a thing for me.
That's not an option. Yeah.
Right.
Okay, yeah.
And I'm aware of that how resurrection spell works. So after a century, like, my sibling cannot be resurrected anymore. So I'm pushing the limits.
God, you have it taken close.
I'm pushing the limits. Like, maybe a little less than a year left.
Okay. All right.
So I'm in the position where I'm like, gotta do something.
Now, would you call, from what you know about Parnak Velo, which is admittedly very little, would you call him an alchemist or a wizard or a sage? Like what is?
I would say more like a shaman.
Shaman,
maybe?
got it.
A shaman, or and probably hermit, because hey, do you know this guy? And I don't know. I've never heard of him. So yeah.
What's your twin sibling's name?
It will be Gabriella.
Sure.
It's too sweet.
Gabriel and Gabriella.
Okay.
That's good for twins. They always have
I
a
like-
similar name.
I like the idea.
You just yell Gabe,
Yeah.
and then you get both.
Yeah, exactly. I like the idea that
I don't want to get nipped when I feed you.
I don't know. I read it in some book that twins are born with one soul and they share it, and twins very rarely live past one of them dies. And I'll try to.
So this is more
There is a
selfish
weird
reason that
correlation.
you don't want to die.
We'll
Probably both.
see.
Oh yeah.
We'll see how it goes.
Little combi.
I don't know. I haven't decided how I'll roleplay this crap, but it seems like an interesting idea of like a struggle.
Best place to start is there, and then just let it evolve naturally.
Okay.
What's that race that?
Oh, stop.
Yeah, the Devati. I still want to.
I
do,
considered
like,
putting in the
wrestlers.
Devati, which is it's like a race from what is it 3.5 days or something, where it's two bodies but they share one soul, so you're controlling two characters at the same time.
Hey, I'm gonna be doing that.
But the two characters like share
Actions?
mechanical stuff
Yeah.
and actions.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Like health total.
that as well, I think so. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. So it's a strategic little puzzle. Which
But one
Nico
can
from,
go down,
Dota.
and then the other one starts
Losing it.
starting to be inadequate, so like they can't make actions and stuff.
I still want to do like a pair of wrestlers off of that.
yeah.
Just like
tag team
like
duo.
Mexicans
flip
with
people.
masks.
Luchadors. Yeah.
Yes.
Ooh, that'd be great. Devati luchadors.
Like, just doing like Lyrats.
Yeah, Lariats just
From the top rope. They've constructed a top rope just for this maneuver.
And I think of them as like dwarves too, not like full-sized humans. They're like
stout.
like dwarven twins would be fun for it because they really fit that mold.
All you have to do is stack them on top of each other. They're basically one
Yeah.
human.
yes.
Put a trench coat over them.
Yeah.
I mean, the other option is you do like the weird dynamic where you do like a halfling and a half orc. You get the size dynamic.
Fastball special. You definitely got that. Yeah.
Just toss me.
Okay, so, oh, you know what? I forgot the ambient music. So, you are all currently in the city of Marasma, or plus.
Oh, speaking of,
Yes.
sorry. Do we have like
Knowledge.
houses living like because like I lived here?
Yeah, the assumption is that you have a place to stay that is appropriate to your class.
Okay. Okay. Cool.
Yeah, so you guys are... You don't have to worry about shelter or food necessarily. Like, you have the literal capital and social capital to take care of that, so that'll be squared away. But anything beyond that, in terms of the adventuring expenditures, obviously you got to take care of.
Sounds good.
The coffee is ready, G. Do you want some?
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Sure. I will always drink coffee.
Yeah, I drank like 4 or 6 cups a day. That's delicious.
I don't always drink that much. But on weekends.
But when I do...
We're down the wrong pipe.
It didn't even go down the wrong pipe. It just hit my throat weird.
I see my poison water is taking effect.
Yep.
Tickled your
So glad I picked the coffee.
Yes.
Boy, you won't taste bitter poison water.
Yeah, you won't taste it. There's still lots of water.
I'm gonna die happy.
It's a very fine poison water. That's just the right bird.
This water tastes of almonds.
Bitter?
Is that the creamer?
Definitely.
Extra coaster.
There you go.
Thank you.
Okay.
We once watched a stream of guys from Polygon. They were pretending to do an ASMR segment, and I was like so deeply uncomfortable while they did it. I was like, "Do we have to watch this? Can you please turn this off?" Like they were joking and like making fun of it, but I was like, "Oh my god, this is so creepy."
It still just hits the right thing. You're like, nope.
Now, you are all currently in the city of Marasma, the vast, intricate city from that stretches across a sizable portion of the desert that is full of districts that cater to the ultra-wealthy and the working poor. But what I want to know is, where are you right now in the city? So what I want to do is I want to go to each of you in order, and you tell me where you are in the city right now. It doesn't have to be, I'm on 32nd Street, although that doesn't exist. But it doesn't have to be something that specific. Just like I'm in a tavern, or I'm at a newsagent, or I'm pissing in the alley, or whatever it may be.
The classiest introduction.
And then we will spill out from there, and you'll be able to describe your character and what that character looks like, and what you plan on doing during the day. Also, this will be a chance for us to discuss whether or not you all know each other as of yet, or whether you will be coming together during this session. Okay?
Okay.
So, I will open it up on a volunteer basis. Trey.
Jumping in.
I live in, as befits my student status, I live in a drafty garret
Sure.
at the top of a very high building, which is perfect for me because I like to climb out and sit on the roof and sketch maps of the city from up there.
Oh, okay.
Seeing if by increasing my overall knowledge of the layout of the city, I can better come to understand its history.
Right.
So I am at present sitting on the roof of my garret, just above my window, looking out across the city with a sketch pad on my lap. Looking out across.
Surveying the land below.
Exactly.
Okay. So, you are there on the. You have opened up the sort of the hanging glass pane, and you have scurried up with your tabaxi agility onto the roof, and you are looking down on. You are looking down on the. What we would call a middle class district.
Okay.
It is a place of some of a little bit of technological sophistication. I mean, people aren't using oil lanterns and such anymore. There are sort of electric lights along the streets, and there are decent-looking buildings that people work and do trade in all the time. But it is not the highfalutin gilded streets of Coldcrest, which is the district where the kind of the high-end, very rich live, nobles and so on.
Okay.
Does this district have a name?
I'm sure it does.
If it doesn't, I have a couple.
Oh, go for it.
Okay.
It doesn't have a name from me.
Well, it can't be Babbing Wife.
What?
Babbing Wife, of course.
Sure.
That's the one.
Hunbrook.
Starting with a P?
H.
H.
Hunbrook.
Hunbrook. Oh, I like that. Okay.
Hunbrook.
Okay.
District of Academes and Artisans.
Okay.
So you're taking a look at the layout of Hunbrook, and in the distance you can see, not too far from here, the elaborate architecture, the gleaming gilded buildings, and rapid steam car transit weaving in and out of Coldcrest District. And a little bit farther along to the west, you see the hard scrabble, smog-choked, working poor denizen of Poxborough.
Poxborough. Oh.
That's
Industrial zone.
That's an industrial zone where the working poor live, where brick making is being done, iron works is there. There's all manner of sort of manual and industrial jobs.
Mm-hmm.
That's where all the service workers are elsewhere. This is where the hard labor is done.
Gotcha. So Poxborough is adjacent
We've got
to Hunbrook.
And
Yeah, it's
Foxborough.
it's a little bit farther away than say Coldcrest is closer to Hunbrook
Oh, okay.
than Poxborough. But you're looking out as the sun is beginning to rise. You can see that they look as if they are from completely different worlds. It is remarkable how, from what you understand about the city's origins, starting as a kind of elaborate stone metropolis abandoned in the middle of the desert, that it has come to host this many distinct little microcosms of society and technology and wealth distribution is fascinating to you, and you wonder if the previous city had something to the effect of such gentrification, not the right, but disparity.
Yeah. Well, I think I'm gonna really try to capture that in the drawing, because now that you mention it, I think I like the idea that maybe Poxborough was where I spent most of my childhood as an urchin.
Okay.
And so seeing that disparity jump out at me like that would probably strike me as poignant and possibly even a little infuriating.
Give me a dexterity check.
Right?
Not a save, but a check.
Okay. So I'm trying to roll under my dex, or I'm just...
No, you're
figuring
rolling a
it out?
d20 and adding your dexterity modifier.
Okay. All right.
Yep.
So,
Nice.
22.
22. Very good. Okay, so you have got your... have you come out here with an ink pen? They do make ink pens with cartridges, so it's okay. You don't have to carry around a well.
Pot, right. Okay. Yeah.
So you are sketching this outlay of the surrounding city streets, and you with your tabaxi eyes and the sun just beginning to stream in over the city, you make a striking and surprisingly detailed map of your immediate surroundings,
Nice.
which you'll be able to use later. Unless you drop it and it falls to the city streets below.
Unless it rains.
So don't do
and
that.
it
I
gets
decline to do that.
Okay, fair enough. So what's on the agenda for Sandy today? What will you be doing?
I just want to show you something from my from the things that I picked out for myself.
There you go. No problem.
And this is it.
Already
I already had that in my inventory.
Now it's better.
It is nice.
Previously it was just an X, and you are here.
This is where it came from. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is the moment that I acquired that map. So what is my agenda for today?
What do you plan on doing today? What's your itinerary look like?
My itinerary is to. I'm gonna go down to. It just changed a little bit after I had this observation.
Mm-hmm.
I had planned to just go down to the archives and again see if I could wheedle my way in and find some really old documents that might tell us something about what we want to know. But now I think I'm going to go down to the sort of the cusp between Hawksboro and
Hunbrook?
Actually, what was the high class place?
Coldcrest.
Coldcrest. The sort of is there a place where those three districts kind of come together?
Yeah, there is sort of a. So we're looking
More
at
or
it sort of
less.
like
They don't have-
Coldcrest is here, and then Hawksboro is over here, and then Hunbrook and two other districts act as a kind of like a buffer zone between.
Okay.
the two.
All right.
Yeah.
So in that case, yeah. In that case, the area between, like you said, between Foxborough and Hunbrook.
Okay.
I'm just gonna look and see if there's anything. I want to see if there's any sort of non-socially constructed reason for this. Is there an architectural reason, or is there
something about the land or the remains of the city that would
the architecture of the
lead
city,
it to
or-
being
Yeah.
a poor district or like an industrial district?
Yeah.
Okay. Makes
Yeah.
sense.
Only compare the two and see, within a range of several streets or blocks, maybe see if there's some reason that's laid out like that. Some possibly historical reason.
So
Okay.
a lot of these buildings were already made, so
Yeah,
you're
exactly.
trying to find the
Yeah.
building planners.
There's a
kind
good
of
portion
ideas.
that were constructed from new materials like brick and steel. There's a good portion that were sort of renovated, right? They were sort of built on top of or reinforced with some of these new materials. And there were some that were just simply torn down altogether and built on the site. So
Are there any that are just still there, still standing?
the only building that is absolutely still there in its original condition is the Pilgrim's Oasis in the middle of the city, where Rodalan traveled during his first arrival in La Marasma.
So the remains of the old city are gone? The new inhabitants have completely razed the entire thing to the ground?
Well, over 100 years, the city has transformed so significantly that it barely looks like the old city anymore.
Okay.
Yeah, there's brick and steel work and steam cars and trains and everything, and shops have sprung up, and all manner of population has come here and built on top of La Marasma and within La Marasma. That it looks very little like the old city anymore.
Okay.
In fact, the only real clues that you have to what it looked like 100 years ago is the Pilgrim's Oasis and the pieces of buildings that are still not completely covered up by wood or brick or steel. Not modern materials.
Okay. Interesting. When people modify these buildings, is it usually for the sake of comfort, or because they're in just bad repair, or security? Why do people?
It's a variety of reasons, depending on the district and the context, right?
Okay.
The nature of the building, right?
Okay. So it's not because maybe the inhabitants were 15 feet tall, and so each floor can be 2 floors, and so everybody. Just
The sort of remarkable thing about La Marasma when Rodalan and his settlers arrived was that the city was sort of perfectly humanoid sized. It wasn't sized for halflings or gnomes, and it wasn't for giants or Goliaths. It was all reasonable humanoid sizes of people. Apparently, humanoid type species lived here at some point.
Nice. All right. Well, I am off.
Okay, you are headed to the archives to bother some old man.
No, not going to the archives. That was my original.
Oh, that's
plan.
right. Yeah, you were headed to the borderline between Poxborough and Hunbrook.
Yes.
Okay. Who's next?
I'll jump in. Kyoko's having a quick little stop by the market. Heard that there's been a new shipment of makeup that's actually made from things from the ocean. Spinning a quick little drop by there before going to the local constabulary, seeing if she can find some local bounties to hunt down.
Okay,
Fantastic.
sounds good.
Makeup and bounties. What more do you want from What a life.
I can tell you two things. You don't want to
Never mix
be
them.
one of the bounties that she's hunting, and you don't
You're
want
not
to fuck up
dog
her
the
makeup.
Right.
Because she will
Your
end
fox
you.
bounty.
Yeah, no, if that's like, yeah.
If I have to repaint these nails.
Oh, don't even start there.
Y'all done.
Yeah, you don't even start.
But it's. I'm imagining like anybody who notices her notices the blunderbuss on her back first.
Sure,
Since
it's hard not to.
It's probably like 4.5 feet.
Yeah.
It's a
and-
sizable weapon. Yeah.
Bigger than she is.
Yeah, she is literally 3'7".
Yeah.
So it's you notice the gun before you notice.
So
her.
like the handle is sort of jutting out
Yeah.
above your head. Yeah.
like those army men with a little radio pad.
Right. Exactly. So you you stopped by the market. You have checked out these new sort of ocean-based cosmetics. Sure enough, a sort of a Weasley-looking halfling salesman was able to give you with a discount because he liked he said the cut of your jib, but you weren't quite sure what that
I don't
meant.
know what that means.
Some mascara, actually, that had been crafted from the oil of a new eel that they had found on the coast of the continent.
That might blind you. Don't use that.
Yeah, we'll hold on to that.
He stressed that it was very new, which to your mind probably meant untested, but yeah. So you have this mascara you picked up, and you are now headed to Gainsey, the district where the La Marasma police headquarters is, and various sort of private mercenary companies, and it's generally what you might call the security strong arm district.
Okay.
Gainsey is like Gain the detergent, and then SEY.
Got it.
C, not Z. Oh,
Yeah, Gainsey. Yeah, Gainsey.
so I was thinking more chains.
So you said you were trying to figure out bounties. You were looking for.
Yeah. I figure this is how Kyoko's been keeping herself funded and busy while in the big city.
Okay, so you are walking down the cobblestone streets of Gainsey District, and you notice along the backside of what looks like a brick warehouse, one of many places that either some mercenary company or maybe a segment of the police department stores some of their armaments. You notice a weathered piece of a long scroll paper that reads "Wanted," and it shows a artist's illustration of what looks like a goblin, bald, with sort of long, sharp, horizontal ears, like sticking straight out from the side. Smiling, well, grinning, I think would be the better word.
Leering.
Leering, I think, is appropriate, yeah. With a cigar chomped between his teeth and a single gold tooth. He has more teeth, just one of the teeth. One tooth is gold. It'd be very difficult to keep the cigar in with only the one tooth.
His tooth and his gums, because
just
he
kinda
doesn't
like
have a
pierce
second
it.
tooth.
And below it says, in quotes, okay, I'll quote,
Tooth.
dressed up, unquote, Drebma.
How'd you spell that?
Drebma.
BMA. Okay, Drebma.
Yeah, dressed up Drebma. It says, notorious thief and safecracker. And then it says that there is a 3,000 gold bounty on this gentleman.
Oh,
Whose safe did he crack?
Grace. Gracious.
And wouldn't you like to know? Well, you can pick up a paper and find out, actually, if you want.
Yeah, I'll kind of like half run up the wall to grab a hold of it and just pull it down.
Okay, yeah, you take it right off.
Your feet kicking.
I imagine like a
You're weighing enough to
Depending
pull
on-
a piece of paper off the wall.
Like how high it is?
barely 40 pounds.
How tall?
Yeah, 3'7".
3'7"? Okay.
You know, so depending on where it is on this wall. Yeah. Oh yeah. Short.
Shorter than Zoe.
Mhm.
Although to be fair, Zoe's really fucking tall.
And it says to contact Marshal Ersatz of the La Marasma Police Department.
ERZATS?
ERSATZ.
SATZ.
Is that Marshall as in a first name, or...
Marshal as in, you think that's a title.
Okay.
Because you know, based on... You've lived in La Marasma enough to know about the Zerif, the sort of, for lack of a better word, the gun-toting sort of top-tier lawmen of the city who often are ordered by the governor to either take care of important situations going on in La Marasma or out on the frontier.
Mm-hmm.
They're the equivalent of like the Texas Rangers or the what's the equivalent, like the GI men or something.
G-men.
G-men and that sort of thing. And you know that the marshal, specifically Marshal Ersatz, is the sort of chief of that particular force of the Zerif, which is XERIFE.
XERIFE?
Yes, the Zerif.
Wow, that sounds like a morning. Let's go say hello.
Okay. So, you're headed to the La Marasma Police Headquarters to speak to Marshal Ersatz about the bounty. Who's next? Lance. What is Karaka doing?
I'm definitely in Poxborough.
Okay.
Starting my pilgrimage.
So you are preaching. You are spreading the good word of.
No, it's more self-discovery.
Oh, I see. So it's a private journey. All right. Okay.
Trying to figure out how to become a paladin.
Okay. So you are wandering through the streets of Poxborough. The air above you is choked with smog and smoke.
This is deep breath.
From
This is like the religious air.
this acrid heat fills your throat and your lungs. You start to cough.
16 charisma. I mean, I got con.
You look good doing it.
Not charisma, I'm charisma.
So you're not poisoned, thank God. You are surrounded by people in sort of rough wool shirts and women in calico skirts and with dirty hands and matted hair, making their way through the city. You get wafts of strong alcohol and burning coal, and the streets seem to be almost permanently slick with some kind of oil or fluid. Mm-hmm. And you're moving through this area, and you actually bump into a sort of a hard scrabble worker, a balding man with a thick sort of salt and pepper beard, who just barrels right into you. Doesn't even notice that you're there until contact, and you see him sort of. What the fuck are you? And he sees that you are a half-orc, that you tower over him by a good, probably 2 feet.
It's okay, fellow sir.
Begging your pardon, sir.
Keep on doing the Lord's work.
Sure. You see him sort of blink a couple of times and stumble past you. You find yourself now in front of, almost absent-mindedly, the old ironworks that your guardian regularly works at. It's a massive brick building with large sort of steam, sort of steel reinforced chimneys that are belching this black smoke. There's this wave of insufferable heat that is simply radiating from the building. You see a couple of workers of all sort of sexes and races, including some the occasional plantkin and oddly enough a three-creen. Funnily enough, wearing a sort of like hard hat. Making their way into the ironworks,
I have questions.
filing in for a shift.
Wouldn't the exoskeleton make the hard hat unnecessary?
It's a health and safety thing.
Is OSHA a thing?
He doesn't really need it, but
Yeah,
you know.
awesome.
Okay, alright.
awesome.
I just, okay.
It's the 19th century. They haven't invented safety yet. but
They see their colleagues wear hats.
Exoskeletons break
They're
just
like,
as
why
easy
not?
I
as
want one too.
bones.
I guess so.
The
Has
problem
the
is
jungle
not
been
wrong.
released in this universe yet?
No.
Is that,
No,
Put a lot of
Upton
safety.
Sinclair does not.
Okay, alright. I didn't know if Upton Sinclair was...
Did I get that right?
Yes, that's Upton Sinclair. You're right.
So, you see people streaming in this massive edifice to industry, belching smoke into the air. And what do you? How do you feel seeing this?
I think
This place.
I feel like awe and excitement, and I probably just take holy water. Okay, just water.
You just have some water
just like
that you claim is holy water. Okay.
maybe
And,
they think
and just make like a circle and hammer, like on the wall, like bless this place.
So you do this sort of
Are you a cleric
Slow-
or a charlatan?
I'm a
Little
cleric.
column A, little column
you do
B.
this slow
I might be a charlatan.
Studied.
paladin.
clerical ritual. You draw a kind of you form a symbol of Moradin with this holy water on the wall of the ironworks, and you stop and you think, that's a job well done. And you notice out of the corner of your eye that a squat dwarven woman, I guess you don't have to say squat, they're all squat, has been staring at you probably the entire time you've been doing this.
Just turn around.
What are you doing, mate?
Blessing this holy place.
You want to bless this place? You get the prick who runs this place fired, and maybe pay us a bit more coin.
Everyone who does the Lord's work deserves to be paid honest wages.
Well, you want to run this place? Go on in, get yourself a new job. I'm sure they won't mind that you're toothy. No offense.
That'd be one of the greatest honors to run a place like this.
So low standards, you'll fit right in.
So then you'll vote for me.
It's not really a voting process.
So by force.
Try get closer to the middle. Split the difference.
Use words with force.
Yeah, sure. I tell you what, I'll bring it up with the boss. I'll see how he feels, and then I'll get back to you. She sort of very unsteadily, kind of
Away from the crazy
slowly
half-orc.
walks away from the half-orc cleric. Okay, who's next?
It's just me and you. You go
I
ahead.
can do-
Sure.
Okay,
So-
Gabriel.
So, let's get to a wealthy part of town.
Okay, so you're in, so the wealthiest district is called Crest.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
Opposite sex.
so I probably
Yeah.
I stayed here since the I saw the town grow, how it starts, how everything goes, and I was one of the first people who were there.
You were there within the first 15 years.
Yeah, 15. Yeah. So I'm probably I have one of the older
Founding members badge.
older buildings that are not had been touched yet. Or
Yeah, okay,
modded,
yeah, yeah.
modded, or I have a first floor and over is it's skyscraper.
Sure, yeah. In Caldcrest specifically, the architecture is very very much on verticality, and there are large sort of suspended tracks along which these sort of steam trains provide a kind of inner city sort of transportation. So yeah, it's very conceivable that you're on the ground floor. On
So I'm on the ground floor, and I'm currently leaving my workshop that I have, and it has a 2 cogs, and they're rotating always, and the sign says Tharma cogs, and behind the glass sort of like a pedestal, there are dolls in super fancy dresses and tuxedos, almost like hats. And I'm locking the door, and I'm leaving. And I have cape, hat, and I'm escorted by this real thin automaton. He has a super straight fit black tuxedo, top hat, and he's carrying on his back a oddly big loot case. And I'm going to visit a couple of my merchant friends. Just trying to get in touch with some tailors. My orders might come today. I ordered a couple dresses. I'm pretty much making the automatons like dolls for wealthy lords of the town, for those spoiled brats kids.
My kid needs a friend.
So yeah, I'm on my way, just walking down the street to meet a couple of my
clients.
Not clients, more like colleagues.
Colleagues,
yeah. Going down the road, and I pretty much don't carry anything. My automaton is doing the heavy lifting.
Okay.
As nimble as I could be.
Now, does your automaton have a name? The one that's currently assisting?
Theodore.
Theodore.
Mm-hmm.
And does Theodore, is he purely working on sort of commands, or does he have a sort of personality of his own? Or?
So he is as an automaton. It's just a bowl-like head. No emotions, no face. It's just a bowl.
Mm-hmm.
And he responds to commands. No personality whatsoever.
Okay. All right. So you are making your way down the finely swept streets of Caldcrest, heading to a cafe that's not too far away, so that you can meet with a few of your fellow tinkerers and artisans. And you're making your way down the street with Theodore ticking along beside you. And you remember that amongst the pile of work that you've had within the last 2 weeks, nobles asking for all manner of sort of fanciful toys and useless gizmos and gadgets that they can show off to the fellow houses, that you still owe a small sort of horse-like automaton to a woman named Lady Philomena Straub. Philomena. Yeah, like Philo, like Philomena. Lady Philomena, and then Straub, Straub. She's well known in these parts. She is currently the most notable figure of House Straub, and there are several houses in Caldcrest of noble, of people of noble bearing, families that have been sort of influential and wealthy. You remember that she requested this, quite some time ago, but in the mess of work that you've had for the last 2 weeks, you have unfortunately neglected to make that and deliver that to her. So you've still got that on your mind. You realize that as you were walking by, because you saw in the distance the Straub Manor house, which is sort of this tall, skinny affair with lots of spires and made of sort of elaborate brickwork and gilding.
Yeah, I'll get my chain watch check. Sigh. There's still time. Keep going.
Okay. So you make your way to the cafe. It's a you get the smell of what teas and coffees wafting in the air. You see Riedga, Riedga, the female halfling tailor, sitting at a nearby. Sitting at a table and enjoying what looks like a coffee in a sort of porcelain cup and saucer. It's quite a sight to you because she doesn't keep herself well kept. She's rough. She usually wears modest garments that are like slightly torn or messed in some way, and you find that unusual that nobles would give this woman the time of day if it weren't for her incredible tailoring skills. She's probably the finest tailor in Coldcrest, or maybe the city in general. So it must be that the nobles tolerate her sort of strange, unkempt appearance. She sees you in the distance and sort of waves a hand and then gestures for you to come and sit down.
Yeah, I don't wave or anything. I just nod and approach.
Okay. She gestures to the seat in.
Yeah, I take a seat next to her, and Theodore will come instead next to me.
Gabriel, how are you? Hello, Theo.
Hello. Doing well.
What's the matter? You look distracted.
Yes, this it's just a lot of work lately, and
yes.
I just I can use extra hands in my shop.
Can't you make them?
Yes, it doesn't really work that way.
No, I wouldn't know. I just do crinoline and ruffles.
But yeah, it's
it's
a rough couple weeks.
Why does it have to be so popular?
I'm sorry to hear that. Just we'll get Garçon. Could you? What are you having?
Herb tea.
Can you get the gentleman some herbal tea and
Brown sugar. Ginger cookie.
And brown sugar and a ginger cookie. And could you put a little liqueur in one of those things? Thank you.
One or all three.
Thank you, Riga. I appreciate it.
Of course.
Yes, this lady Filomeno, she's caught up.
Don't tell me. Don't tell me you did it.
Are
you intentionally making Lady Straw wait?
Never intentionally.
That's perhaps worse. If you had been intentionally doing it, I thought maybe you might have some kind of grand plan. If this was like a marketing thing, I don't know, but this you forgot?
In fact, yes, it is a marketing thing. Let's spread the word about that.
Don't bullshit me, Gabriel. I know you. Sometimes you get on a tangent.
Indeed. And
you forget about, the work you gotta do. The fun I get. Sometimes I make a skirt just for fun. I try to make it out of brick dust. It doesn't go well, but I feel like I'm expressing my muse, But I always remember to do the work.
It seems like I was expressing my muse a lot lately, and
Well, did you get anything out of it at least?
Yeah, you can put it that way. No. It's in the shop.
Garçon, could you put liqueur in one of the other two things, please?
Thank you, Riga. I need it today.
I do what I can.
Thank you. Did you finish that order that I asked you to do for my automatons? The dresses and the...
What dress?
Remember the turquoise dress? I asked you for a automaton that about 2 feet tall.
I don't recall this.
Yeah. That's marvelous.
That's
Garçon!
That's sarcasm. Of course.
Extra.
I don't need any right now. I remember the work all the time. That's all I do. Yes, they're done.
Thank you. You got me.
Why did you want so many layers? I didn't understand that. They're just...
Hey, it's not for me.
Twiggy little legs.
It's for customers.
Very smart.
I do what they ask, and so do you, I assume.
I have to.
They have different tastes.
Nobody just wants pants these days. They want
Indeed.
pantaloons,
Indeed.
which is apparently different.
That's the style they're going. So where can I pick those up, if you don't mind asking?
Oh, yes, right. Okay. There is a bit of a problem.
Mm-hmm.
I had to make my way to a slightly disreputable dealer in Hunbrook.
Mm-hmm.
He's got quality materials. I was short on turquoise fabric, and he happened to have some, and so I said, why not? I'll give you some business. Don't get it around that I came to see you, please. Nobody will know. You know, I'll pay a little bit extra. You know how it is.
Oh, yeah.
And so the dress is... Okay, so I may have paid for him to sort of finish up a couple of details.
Mm-hmm.
But you'll have to go and see him. They're over there, right? I don't have them. And I don't want to be seen there again, because if any of the lords and ladies see me hobnobbing with merchants
Oh, yeah. I
in Hunbrook, they will have me strung up.
absolutely. I understand the competitive circles. Where do you say this? What's the name of the place in Hanbrook where I need to go to see this gentleman?
Oh,
Or,
right, yeah. It's a kind of squat little brick building in Hunbrook. God, what's his name? He's a gnome. You know what I mean? He's one of those.
Yeah, the short ones.
The really short, not halflings, but they're shorter
Right,
than that.
right, right.
Have I got that right? Yeah, Bodo.
Mm-hmm.
Bodo Alphus? A-L-F-U-S, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't get all the details. I wasn't planning on seeing him more than once.
Another thing to do today, I guess. It's terrible.
You're gonna have to ask around
terrible
because he
inconvenience.
doesn't have a sign.
No,
as much.
He doesn't have a sign in his shop.
No, or outside.
Does he have a shop?
I mean, it's technically his house.
So it's not. Oh my god!
It sort of doubles as a shop. Do you see why I didn't want to be there?
I know. I don't understand why you did this to me. I thought we were friends.
Oh, well, I guess you can ask Astert next time. to
No.
have your
I
tailoring
appreciate.
done.
No. I appreciate your help, and this is.
Okay.
Thank you. I appreciate this. This is.
Oh, wait, your stuff's
I'll-
almost here.
Yeah. I'll.
Oh, wow, that reeks. A little too much.
No, it's a one sip, and the cookie goes the same way. I'll check my clock and
I'll never get over that elf metabolism.
be in my way. I bow just with my head.
And she sort of raises her cup at you.
Yep, and I will be on my way with Theodore.
Okay. So you make your way, heading off towards Hunbrook to
Denbrook to
see Bodo.
see Bodo.
Okay.
Of course, I'm chewing.
Laris, you're chewing on something.
I am.
Ambushed.
Okay. Perhaps a rock or a piece of jerky or
No.
Crunchy. Cool.
My idea was that
someone's arm.
Leras makes her living kind of a private investigator type. She basically walks around, sneaks around, and takes photos of people doing things that they're not supposed to, and then sells
Sure.
them to newspapers, police department, whoever might pay me for them.
And I'm glad you brought that up because there are primitive kind of photographic
That's what I was
cameras in
thinking,
La
like, there's
Marasma.
gotta be, like-
Like with photo plates and everything.
There's
yeah,
got to be
it's
that kind of thing going on. So
Awesome.
yeah. So yeah, you've got it's kind of unwieldy, but you have your materials, and you go and you normally find that you have to take those pictures from a distance because of the smoke.
well, I was kind of hoping with the control and stuff that there's an.
No, that's fair. Yeah,
Magic
yeah.
imaging.
There's still a kind of like a flash, but
But it's not like.
it's not the flash is not a setting of the camera. It's just
Yeah.
the control sort of sparking going off. Yeah.
Take the picture and run.
Yeah.
Hence the sneaking.
Take a couple of quick pics of it. Jaunt.
But my idea was that it was
Require
at
a
least
wooden
somewhat
tripod.
small, so it wasn't like. This
Oh no
huge
no no!
thing.
It's not like
over his head.
yeah.
It's not the box.
It's not yay big.
That's
yeah,
fine.
like the size of a
Like, I could
shoebox
put
or
it in a
something.
pack and,
Yeah.
On a tripod with a cloth over your head.
Yeah.
I was hoping to not have to do that. But, you know, pictures of Spider-Man, you know, like that. But that way she can be everywhere in the city. And, yeah.
Always
She's
for the
dressed in such a
scandalous.
manner that she's dressed like a man, mostly, to cover up her tattoos.
Okay.
Yeah. Just kind of comes in, drops off photos, get money, leave.
Okay, so who is this this person that you're dropping off photos of? Is it like, are you going to a news agency, or are you selling them to like a private person?
I assume that she'll sell it to anybody. They just kind of come and find her, and she takes jobs. It doesn't matter if it's from the police or a news agency or a private citizen. She doesn't care. Because money.
Okay.
So this particular job can take me wherever you need me to be.
Where do you want to be?
I imagine Kraka is putting the symbol, and there's just a
Graffiti on the industrial zone.
Graffiti terrorist strikes Poxborough.
I could be.
And I just turns like, vote for me for CEO.
I could easily be in a tavern somewhere with the photos ready to hand.
Nobles agree to execute all half-orcs on sight. Anyway.
Let's say
As they start like a labor union, it's just
Let's say I'm in a tavern somewhere, meeting a
union
client,
president.
delivering photos for money.
Okay.
That's seedy.
Black
Nice.
money.
All right, so
Get that
But I probably reside in Hunbrook.
Hunbrook? Yeah.
Yeah.
So you've gone actually over to Poxborough for this.
It's fine.
You've headed to a scummy-looking saloon in Poxborough called the Half-Cocked.
Of course it's called that.
It's a sort of a made out of rough-hewn planks and shingles. You know, the place is run by a kind of what you would describe as tubby for dwarf standards. A gentleman named Ragram. And you are meeting your client, Mahya Al-An, who is a...
Go spell that for me.
yes, Mahyaa Al-A-L-A-N, in sort of the Arabic tradition. Right.
So is this a private citizen or is this a police officer? Or?
He is a private citizen.
Okay.
Yeah. He suspects that his husband is cheating on him,
Okay.
and he wants photographic proof of such
Evidence.
before he begins to, apply for divorce proceedings and begin to divide up their substantial wealth and so on and so forth. So you meet Mahya inside the Half-Cocked. You see the same gentleman with sort of long curled black hair, wearing expensive clothing. You can see him again compulsively playing with an electrum ring on his finger, which you've never asked, but you've assumed is the wedding ring.
Yeah.
And he sees you approach, and he's sort of very, very subtly sort of gestures for you to come and sit at the table with him.
I'll come and sit down and take my hood down.
Were you followed?
No.
Good. I cannot tell you what social difficulties it would cause me if I were seen with. I'm sorry, there is no way, delicate way to put this.
With me.
Yes. I respect and appreciate your work, but
I'll just slide it. Well, I'll put the envelope on the table.
these are. I do not even know if I want to look at them.
As long as you pay me, I don't really care if you look at them or not.
You could have at least a little sympathy, huh? Surely you must feel something. I feel as if I'm going to be sick here, and the ambiance of this place is not helping.
You picked it, not me.
I knew that Sally would not come here, and I knew that no one I knew would frequent this place, not intentionally.
I appreciate the delicacy of your situation.
It's my home.
As someone who does this on the daily basis, I can tell you with confidence that if you are unsure of your relationship enough to hire me, it's probably not a very good one to begin with.
I must admit I have had my doubts about Sally's fidelity for some time. And there is a part of me that wants to be free of all of this. And yet, there is that other part, deeper, underneath, that wishes only to have things stay the same in their sort of golden years, to return to that, halcyon days. Yeah?
Well, you can do one of two things. Well, first, you have to pay me no matter what. But you can either not open the envelope and pretend like nothing happened, or you can know the truth.
What do you normally charge for your services?
What is a decent amount of money because this man is rich. If I am following a well-to-do man who is going out of his marriage with other men or boys, depending on how gross he is,
Or people.
or just people, whatever, then it's gonna be a little bit more. I'm not like
Okay, you have to
down dark alleys
follow and
and
witness.
shit. Yeah, I have to. Not only do I have to see it, I have to
Right,
be able to
right.
photograph it in high establishments. So
Makes sense. Yeah.
it would be on the higher side, because I also have to look like I belong in those places, which is easier when you wear all black. But
Lifestyle expenses.
Oh, you
for
are such a
wealthy,
big baby.
4 gold
Look
a
at
day.
you.
4 gold a day.
I wondered why you stopped whining.
That's what I was looking for, actually.
157.
Thank you.
God, you're so smart.
Per day. Let's see.
You're even showing him your belly. I see how it is.
So, we'll say you've been at this a little longer than a week.
Okay.
Trying to catch Sully in the act, or at least adjacent to the act, or, in some compromising situations. And
Because I'm not in the business of like making people believe things that aren't true.
sure, yeah, you want hard proof,
Yeah.
and it's taken quite a while to learn his route,
Routines.
his tendencies, and everything like that. So, Maya slides over a velvet drawstring bag, and inside you can see that there are 100 gold pieces.
That's good.
Probably.
Well, for an aristocratic gentleman, it's for lifestyle expenses, it's 10 gold a day. So if you're working for 10 days, that's 100 gold.
Okay.
So he slides that across from you, and
Please put him down. I asked you to stop doing that, didn't
he
I?
says,
That's what you do.
Sire, this is your payment in full.
I won't open or anything else. I trust you.
Toss in the fire, toss in the
Thank you. Whatever is the case with this.
You're welcome.
Just don't even keep it.
I hope you don't ever need my services again. But I will stay with you if you wish while you open it.
No, this I must do alone.
Cost extra.
Yeah. Just give him a card. He's just like,
Counseling, sir.
As soon as the opposition takes a picture of it and
Man,
runs
she
out.
did a shit, counselor. Let me just tell you right now. I will just kind of nod at him.
I'll counsel
And
you
leave.
through the divorce papers.
Okay,
Sign
as you
here,
are
sign here,
as you're
sign
exiting
here.
the tavern, just under sort of the chatter and the
Date
sort of tankards moving across wood and the occasional sort of loud sniff or cough, you can hear just underneath that the tearing of an envelope, and then just as you cross the threshold, the choked sob.
I didn't say whether or not he had actually cheated.
Mm-hmm.
I just
He
kind of
did,
left that
though.
up for.
He did.
Yeah,
though.
no, the guy totally. I mean, people don't hire me to follow their spouse unless they are already pretty sure.
Looking for proof.
They're just looking for the trigger.
Okay, so a day in the life, right? That's what you've all done here in La Marasma. You're heading out on your errands.
Start some unions.
I will immediately go back to my flat and deposit that money, so I'm not carrying it around.
Deposit into your mattress, or
Yep.
Okay.
No, I'm sure I have a safe or something.
I mean, they are. Yeah, I mean, if you got a safe, sure, why not? Yeah. I heard there's a SecretPart going around. You might want to be careful with that.
Watch your goal.
I did the hole behind a painting trick. It's fine.
No one ever thinks of that.
It's the first place they're going to check.
I hide mine inside the cat.
Ooh.
So,
Cleaning
Let's
up the
see.
litter boxes in his bad for me.
Kyoko. So you are walking down the street in Gainesy. You're approaching the La Marasma Police Headquarters, which is a. Are you familiar at all with the brutalist style of architecture?
Oh, yeah.
It's very much like that. It's this kind of like this mass of like blocky, concrete, hard-edged kind of boxes on boxes on boxes kind of place that is considerably large. It's like a proper complex with the insignia of the La Marasma Police Department hanging just above the double doors into the place. You push your way through, and you see that this rather sizable lobby. It's. Have you ever been in the police department before?
Here? Yeah.
Okay. Well, you know it's laid out kind of unusually. Back in, from what you know about the old country and other places, you've seen photographs and things like that. Police departments usually have, like, there's a small lobby and there's a sort of a tall desk with a policeman standing behind it to take questions, complaints, or phone calls, if there were phones.
Control your world.
This place is laid out more like an expensive hotel.
Oh. Okay.
It's very odd. It feels like there's a long carpet leading from the double doors to the desk. There are several sort of pairs of chairs and tables spread about this room. It's a rather well-furnished place. In the style of a Victorian study, it's all sort of dark wood and fine carpet. It's all a very kind of woodsy, kind of earthy look to it. So you head up to the counter, and you see behind that counter there is a elven-looking woman, kind of reedy, with a rather ornate kind of piece of jewelry hanging from her neck. Her hair's done in a kind of like a beehive sort of look.
Does he have cat-sized sequin glasses?
No, unfortunately, those have not been invented yet. So she looks over at you and says, "Can I help you?" No, I'm not going that far. Ghostbusters. Yeah.
Yes, I'd like to speak with Marshal Erzatz about the bounty on Dripma.
Right. Are you going to want to head over to the elevator on the left? We're taking that up to the 12th floor. And you will knock... Oh, how many times is it this week? 3 times on the second door on your left.
Second door on the left.
Please don't knock on the second door on your right. I can't help you if that happens. I can't guarantee your safety. He's very upset.
Polite little nod as she continues to go on and just make my way over to the elevators.
Do you make your way to the elevator? The sort of grate, opens up automatically, and you get inside this rather sort of nice carpeted interiored elevator. Again, and done in this sort of like dark wood style. You hit the trigger for the 12th floor, and you hear the familiar sound of a controlled crystal sort of beginning to hum with energy somewhere above you, either attached to the elevator itself or some inner workings that you can't see. And you begin to feel the carriage vibrate and then very smoothly make its way upward. On the 12th floor, the doors open up again, and these are in the style of like cross-hatched metal cage-like doors. There are sort of wooden double doors that open also automatically, and then there are these sort of outer exterior cage bit, in the style of the older elevators. Yeah. And you're making your way down what is now still a fine architectured hallway, but now the carpet has been replaced with sort of some kind of fine tile, and the walls are now a sort of in stark contrast to the lobby. They are now sort of a featureless sort of slate gray.
Weird designs going on.
There is a what's that?
Is it stonework or is it the walls like
concrete,
drywall kind of?
It looks like though there is not such a thing as drywall in this world, you would think it's some kind of cheap material that's been put over maybe the original stone sort of interior. And sure enough, the second door on your right says 1202.
Okay.
In gilded lettering on the front.
What's the one on the left say?
Oh, sorry. The one on the left is 1202. The one on your right is 1205.
Okay. I take a moment and eye 1205 out of sheer curiosity.
Sure.
And just put an ear up to it.
You can hear. Actually, give me a perception check. Sure. Let's try that.
First one or second one?
14.
You put your ear to the door, and the wood of this door must be considerably thick. It's like this is not a cheap, flimsy door. This is something made out of like walnut or something. You can hear just almost out of the range of your hearing, just barely perceptible. It sounds like braying? Like a donkey or a mule braying?
Take a good 5 seconds to just try to think through possibilities.
Spin out all the options.
Put that to the side and then go to the left door. 1201 and pop that open.
Some weird.
Oh, you did knock first?
Nope.
Just gonna open?
Yeah.
Okay. You see a sort of a tall, thin gentleman, more athletic on the top half than the bottom half. It's very like
he skipped leg day.
He has skipped leg day. His legs are kind of like sort of thin and kind of stick-like, but his upper body is kind of classically composed in the style of the old
Mr. Incredible,
like Popeye,
the old
Popeye villains.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, kind of like Popeye, where it's all upper body and then the lower body is just like something. We'll figure that out later. He is in a crisp black uniform with orange accents, as is typical of the La Marasma Police Department. He has the insignia marking on the left hand breast of a sergeant. Excuse me, not a sergeant, a marshal. Mm-hmm. And he's a somewhat older fellow. It looks like he's in his late 40s. Has grayish hair that is just a little thinner than you would like, and that he would like. That is sort of combed over off to the side.
Trying too hard.
And he has a similarly grayish but darker than the rest of his hair. Looks like this mustache is essentially fared a little better than the top half. Either that or he's dyeing his mustache, which is peculiar. A pencil thin mustache with a split around where the philtrum, is that right? Is?
Yeah, I think so. That sounds right.
You see him sort of very finely massaging essentially the mustache in front of a full-length mirror. And as the door opens, you see him turn. Oh!
Worth it.
Love it.
I'm sorry, I forgot to knock. I heard braying?
Never. Not important. Come in. Please sit down and explain yourself.
Make my way over as I'm getting up onto the chair, like slapping the wanted poster on the table.
You interrupt my
Mustache hour?
my personal time. You could have asked Lana at the desk about this. Why?
It said to
And you did not knock. Lana told you to knock. Why did you not knock?
I was off clock. I
was-
swear.
There was braying. Look, it said to come to you. I came to you.
I know. I thought that perhaps if I put my name at the bottom of the bounty notice, that people would take it seriously. I did not think that they would actually come to my office. I have very important work to do here
Well, then let's make this quick.
after personal time.
Just get like a mini comb.
I'm fine. I'm composed. Everything is fine.
Would you rather I head back down?
No. You've already begun the wasting of my time. I must see it through. Now then. What do you know about this Drebma character?
Thief and surprisingly skilled safecracker.
Indeed. It is,
Gold tooth.
very peculiar. You do not often see those skills found in goblin folk. They are not known for, at least in my experience, fine dexterity.
Mm.
But this gentleman is irritably good at his job. And of course his job is robbing the safe valuables of our nobles in Cold Crest.
So, nobility, not banks?
Nobility. There is something personal about these crimes. He could, of course, make his way into any of the smaller banks, Hamburg, perhaps, but he's not interested. He seems to only target noble houses, manors, mansions, and so on.
Goblin with a grudge. Do you know anything about Drebma's past?
Nothing whatsoever. He is a bit of a mystery. Perhaps he is frustrated that these fat cats are sapping all of the money. They are not trickling it down to the people, of which the goblin is presumably a part. This is it's a mystery. I do not know. All I know is that there are several stuffed shirts who are very concerned about their pearls. They would be clutching them if they had not been stolen. They're very concerned about their missing articles, not necessarily because of the monetary value, but sheerly because of the insult of it. They will not brook it.
Why the nickname Dressed Up?
Well, you see, this goblin, from what I've seen from the scant eyewitness accounts, it's a blow here, a scrap of clothing there. He is apparently very well dressed. A suit jacket and proper suit pants, which is unusual for a goblin, I do not have to tell you.
Those would
They're
have to be
not-
tailored.
They are not fashionable peoples. And they would have to be tailored because he is
They're small.
squat.
Gives me some potentials to start with.
Steal it from the gnome. Steal it from the gnome.
The nobles are giving us quite a bit of attention and are implying a great deal of social discomfort if we do not deal with this in a timely fashion. So I will need you, if you accept. I presume you're going to accept because otherwise you would not have interrupted my personal time. If you accept this bounty, they are willing to pay you handsomely. You saw
Of course.
there was a sizable reward for what I would deem a B-grade criminal.
Well, I think I've got enough to go on. I'll accept the contract.
Very well. You have a what is? Is it? I see you have a fire on there.
Yes.
Is that what I'm seeing? Just a
I'll
wood handle.
Yeah, I'll produce it. Large blunderbuss.
Good lord. I can tell you that is not standard issue with a police department.
Do you have permit?
No, custom made.
But then again, you're a bounty hunter. You do not fall under our distinctions.
You wouldn't happen to have a list of nobles who've been robbed, would you?
I do, in fact. And he opens his desk, one of the drawers, and retrieves a sheaf of paper and places it in front of you. There are a couple of well-known names of various houses in Coldcrest. And you notice that according dates, these have all happened within the last month. And the name at the bottom is Lady Philomena Straub.
I knew it!
But of course.
She's gonna have a lot
That
of people
means that
stepping up.
Gabriel is dressed up dreadful.
Can
got
you
you figured
explain for foreigners
Dressed up as an
what
elf.
is your weapon?
Okay, so a blunderbuss is a older rifle that wasn't so much designed for a very specific type of shell, but was often used for self-defense, where you would cram powder in it, and then you just stuff whatever.
Anything. So it's
in the
like a
barrel.
cannon.
It's kind of like
Yeah.
it's a wide-barreled sort of kind of rifle-like weapon.
Sort of got a bell-shaped
Oh, so it's
barrel.
like
Yeah.
what Jawas in Star Wars use. Like it's thicker
Yeah,
than
kinda,
longer.
yeah. You think of it as like a primitive shotgun, but you could like stuff glass shards or
Nails.
ball bearings or nails or whatever.
Handful of dirt, whatever you
Yeah,
can pick
whatever.
up.
Yeah.
And boom! Launch it.
One of
It's a
the
shrapnel.
classics
Yeah.
was to stuff it with salt
Yeah.
as a quote-unquote non-lethal method.
Salt
Because it
rock.
was sting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, hurt like hell.
Yeah.
If you
It's a lot
see
more
old
crystal.
stereotypical pictures of the pilgrims from legendary American history with those are blunderbuss.
Yeah, he hands you the sheet, and you can see that the last date was about 3 days ago. It was Lady Straub's manor had been burgled.
All right. Take that and slide it into a bracelet and make my way off the chair. Stop and turn.
You may not be under particular distinctions here at the police department. You are not beholden to our code of conduct. But if I find that you have pursued this bounty in a way that causes undue destruction or stress to the city and its inhabitants, I will not only withhold the bounty, I will have you prosecuted.
That won't be a problem.
Not you in particular, since I extend this offer to all bounty hunters free of charge.
How generous of you.
Oui.
Enjoy your waxing.
enjoy your hole digging. You hear the door close behind you.
No, that was good.
That was great.
It was good.
He tried.
Yeah.
He did his best.
Great.
He gets a gold star.
Okay.
Try his best.
So you're heading out
To
of the police
Lady
department?
Straub's.
Heading to the Ladies Straub Manor. Okay. So,
Let me guess, the owner of the Ironworks is Lady Straub.
no.
Well, what do you know?
Sandy.
Yeah.
So, you are there at the borderline between Hunbrook and Poxborough.
Okay.
You notice that as you were moving through Hunbrook, the buildings got as you were approaching the borderline, the buildings in Hunbrook got less and less well kept and more sort of what you would describe as sort of shady looking. Mm-hmm. It's almost comical. There's a slow degradation of the buildings in Hunbrook, and then there's it sort of holds, right? All of the buildings in this general area are just not really well kept, but they're not abandoned or in particularly bad condition. They're just they're not as well kept as some of the others, sort of the more trafficked parts of Hunbrook. Okay. And it's almost comical that you're basically in the exact spot where, according to La Marasma's sort of structure, this is the line between Hunbrook and Poxborough. And it's almost ridiculous. It's almost funny that just after this line, this sort of invisible line, everything beyond, there are cracked panes, there are poorly maintained cobblestone streets, old, partially broken barrels. There's this wafting of heat and alcohol and smoke pouring in. It would be funny if it weren't sad how distinct of a difference there is between even the more rundown part of Hunbrook and what is presumably a vertical slice almost of Poxborough.
So is this border like a street?
Yeah, there's a sort of a thin. It's almost more of an alleyway, not quite a street.
Okay.
Yeah, with just enough sort of space between the buildings on either side of the alley to feel like, for that mental sort of space to feel like you've crossed the line. Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Huh. Well, I start. Oh, I'm just going to go up onto the roof. That's what I usually do.
Okay. On the Hunbrook side or the Poxborough side?
Oh, the Poxborough side,
Okay.
of course. Yeah. I'm going to climb up and look around.
So you push through a wooden door. It's a little bit of a
Oh,
strain.
no, I'm just going to go up the wall.
Oh, you're going to climb up. Great.
Yeah.
Super.
Got a climb speed.
I've got a climb
why-
speed.
What's your climb speed?
20.
20. There's not even a check for that, I think. You're a tabaxi. You scale one of the nearby buildings, making sure to avoid the sort of smashed panes and loose bricks and things like that. And you make your way up to the top of the building. And you are almost there on the lip, right? Mm-hmm. When several of the top bricks on just the lip where you would flop over onto the roof suddenly give way.
Okay.
Make a dexterity save.
Oi. Okay.
Save.
Right.
So you should have a dexterity save bonus.
Plus 2.
Yeah, it's yeah.
Plus 4, right?
Plus 4.
Of dex.
But I have a proficiency because it's not one of my.
Right.
16.
Nice.
16. Okay. Yeah. So these bricks come apart in your hands. Basically, they almost crumble. They don't simply give way. They also begin to sort of decay in your hands.
Okay.
And you sort of scramble out and grab onto a sort of a loose portion of a brick in the lip of a window, and you're able to catch yourself. Thankfully, you don't fall and cause any undue damage to your cat-like self. You make it a little bit farther up, you flop on top of the roof, and sure enough, the place is... it doesn't appear as if there's supposed to be roof access to this particular building. It's pretty... It's kind of a squat, kind of concrete or hard stone kind of surface.
Okay. Well, I'm going to look back across the alley. I'm going to look around. I want to see if I can see any structural reason that there's this disparity. I want to see if there's a historical reason. Like, are the buildings... the buildings are modern. So I guess that doesn't help.
They look, for the most part, modern, but a good portion of them are still essentially the same stone buildings that have been sort of, again, renovated or remodeled.
Okay. Well, those are the ones I'm going to take a particular interest in.
Okay.
Are they more badly built than the others? I'm talking about the original architecture, not the, I'm trying to see if there's a historical reason for this.
Okay, give me a perception check.
All right.
But do this with advantage because you were a scholar.
All right. Perception. Oh, thank you. 16.
16. Okay. So looking across, are you specifically looking in Poxborough or towards Coldcrest or Hunbrook, or sort of giving a general sweep of the whole city?
Yeah. I'm always going to give a general sweep just because I'm up here. But I'm really interested in the details of what I'm looking at. The buildings around here and... I guess the best way to do that would be look at the physical buildings where I am now, and then look at both sides of this alley and just take a general kind of why are we seeing this?
So you notice that in Hunbrook, most of the buildings, just from a sort of a blind, blind's not the right word, but a bald kind of eye view. Mm-hmm. I'm forgetting the idiom for that.
Bird's eye view?
No, like unfiltered, just a pure, like, not with a zoom or anything. You're just looking with your
okay.
You do take a look at the buildings in Hunbrook, and you notice that because it's a middle class district, that the majority of the buildings there were a handful of projects where a building was torn down and another building was put in its place. But most of the buildings in Hunbrook have been quite severely remodeled or renovated. Things in brick and glass and steel and everything have been sort of slapped onto and reinforced these buildings. And you notice that Hunbrook and the surrounding buildings, the ones that have been renovated, what little you can see of what stonework from the old days is exposed. And there are occasional bits of it. It's almost like an accent here or a corner cutting there. You notice that that particular stone looks to be a little hardier, of a different kind of mineral consistency than that of Poxborough. Okay. In fact, what remains of what you see in Poxborough, the buildings are there's a lot more exposed stone in this area, surely because renovations aren't cheap. And Poxborough is sheerly interested in, at least the people who run Poxborough, sort of for lack of a better word, the movers and shakers in Poxborough, the captains of industry specifically. Right. They're interested in function above form. So if the stonework still works, they're not going to do anything about it.
Okay.
You notice that material, again, that the mineral consistency is worse here. It's almost like it reminds you of a brittler kind of stone, right? Something that you've seen in nature that's less. It's less designed to stand up to the ravages of time.
Okay.
You also notice that, and you've never noticed it until now. Now that you're in the middle of Poxborough, sitting on this roof, looking at this district, that everything's sort of slightly at a dip.
Sagging a little bit?
Everything's, sort of... The whole district is ever so slightly sagging.
Oh, the whole district in general is sagging? Or
Yes.
all of the buildings themselves are sagging?
The whole district, all of the buildings and everything looks as if it's... And it's almost... It would normally be imperceptible. If you weren't looking straight at it from the top, you wouldn't notice
think of it.
Take about a degree or two of...
Almost like it could cave in.
Yes.
Full sinkhole.
It's like, it's like everything has been like watered down structurally.
So, is it possible, from a high vantage point, is there a higher place I can go to handy? I don't want to go a long way right now, but just like a building over that's higher or something.
No, there are not a lot of tall buildings in the immediate area. You'd have to make your way farther into the district.
Can I look and figure out where the middle of the sag is?
Yeah, I mean, from here you could probably
Just do some math.
get out your map of La Marasma, and you'll take a look at that, and you'll give me
Find
a lot of rolls today. Give me an intelligence check.
Okay.
Might be investigate.
I mean, you could argue cartographer's tools. You could say
Yeah,
investigate.
actually, if you
I
have
do have
proficien-
cartographer's
okay,
tools.
well then make a cartographer's tools check, which will be
Intelligence
and proficiency.
plus proficiency.
Yeah.
Okay, nice.
Intelligence mod and proficiency.
So that's plus 5.
Hey, we should better get
Alright, 21.
21, very good. Yeah, you are able to, using your newly made map and this this vantage point, you're able to not quite pinpoint the area, but you've got a reasonable, looks like a block or two, that looks like that's the epicenter of this sort of dip. Right?
Okay. Huh. In that case, I take a piece of the crumbling stone from the original structure of the building,
Okay.
pocket it as a sample, and...
Sure, you chisel a bit off.
Yeah, yeah.
Ziploc bag.
Exactly. Got a little
Evidence
file.
Baggy.
A little tiny file, I put it in.
Yeah. Put a little cork in it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And
Seal.
head off towards this area.
So you're heading. So you're intending to head towards that epicenter, right?
Yeah.
So to speak. This central point.
Okay.
Can
Can I do it from the rooftop?
You're on the roof.
Okay.
Yeah. So you hear behind you.
Oh, whip around.
Okay.
Cat-like.
You whip around like a cat, and you see a
Tail was like,
Yeah, right into a tail.
you see a halfling gentleman,
Okay.
probably in his early 20s.
Okay.
Still kind of boyish looking, but clearly he's an adult, but he's got a boyish kind of
But
look to
barely,
him. He's got sort of auburn-looking hair and a kind of a tussle that is under a sort of a news cap,
Okay.
and he's wearing sort of thick a woolen jacket and pants, and he's got sort of fingerless gloves on.
Okay.
In the classic kind of, he looks a little bit like a Dickensian urchin.
You might say the Artful Dodger. or
Yeah,
something.
yeah.
Right. Do I know this guy?
You don't, not
Okay.
not on sight anyway.
All right.
So this guy, so he's and he puts his hand down from his mouth.
Mhm.
He says, "Are you Oh, I'm not good with your people's names. Wind in the sun, sand. Wind in the sand. Are you that fella?"
Who wants to know?
Well, I just want to know. That's what I asked.
I was hearing some dog's body in there. Who wants to know?
I am.
Great. So,
And you are?
oh, right. So my apologies. And he pops the news cap up, tips it to you. I'm Wenbin. I'm sort of a, I would say assistant, although I think the proper title is manservant, for a lady Philomena Stroll. Perhaps you've heard of her?
Everyone's heard of her.
Well, that's good. It would have made it a very difficult conversation if you hadn't. I've been instructed by my lady to Well, to find you, and you walk very fast, so it's not fun. And what you're doing in Foxborough, I've no idea.
I grew up in Foxborough.
Oh, did you?
I did.
Oh, so I had to write that down. Strob, I want to know that. Lady Strob, I'm sorry. not in front of the help. So Lady Strob has asked me to come to find you and make you an offer. Perhaps you need some money. Maybe some elbows greased in polite society to maybe get some things done. Because Miss Strob, Lady Strob, I'm sorry.
Wouldn't you normally say Lady Philomena?
No, she doesn't allow me to use her first name.
All right. Does she hire scholars?
Yeah. For scholarly work, yeah.
Cartographers?
Not really. Are you good with general academia? Great. I wasn't given a lot of details. I just sort of... It's sort of a fetch job, you understand?
A fetch job?
I'll find you and I'll fetch you. You come back with me.
Your job is a fetch job. My job is
No,
a scholarship
no,
job.
I'm sorry. We're miscommunicating here. Let me start over. Miss Lady Strob needs you for a job. She'd offer money, she'd offer influence. All you got to do is do your scholar thing. Maybe work with a couple of people who are less scholarly than you are. And keep it on the low down. You understand?
Okay.
And everything is hunky dory.
So, do I have an appointment to speak with her?
That's just what we're setting up. So yes. You just have to. Just come.
Do I come with you?
Just come with me. Let's get off the roof.
I just. How does he get down?
He just sort of looks over the lip of the roof and sort of shakes his head. Give me about 2 minutes. You hear the sound.
Can I help him in some way? I don't know how.
As he is like, it looks like he flipped over the back lip of the roof and is sort of very slowly making his way down.
I go position myself to maybe catch him if he falls.
Oh, don't. That's just insulting. I got this. I'm fine.
Only trying to help.
Fuck. So he just, it takes a little bit, but he manages to make it all the way down, and he sort of examines a small rip in his gloves.
Say, handily done.
So, yeah, it's funny. His hands.
You see what I did there?
Yeah, you're very clever. Do they teach you at school?
Aw, now you're just being mean. Let's go see your employer.
Right, after you.
No, I insist. After
Oh,
you.
it's going to be a lot of this, is it?
Well, I don't know the way.
Fine.
And you do. That's what they teach you in school.
So, he, as you see him sort of just kind of shake his head and readjust his cap, and he guides you back out of Poxborough and back into Hunbrook, excuse me. And you see about a block down, and within Hunbrook, you see
Yes.
you see a gleaming, like alabaster painted, Gatralt powered personal car. It's like most of the time you see still carriages moving by with horses or some kind of primitive steam-like conveyances, but this is top of the line Gatralt powered riding and style. It is a sort of a long, angular car with the kind of like a kind of platinum accents, the occasional spark of orange you can see from the control crystal that's been embedded in the back half of the vehicle. And he opens the door and gestures for you to come inside.
Hey. Go in.
All right.
Do like a cat would do. I go to the door, and then I stand right there at the threshold and sniff for a while. My ears twitch.
Could you
Let no one else in.
Tip of my tail, right attack.
your seat's over there?
Turn around. Yes.
And so after you settle down, it looks like this is a four-seater, essentially. There's a sort of a long front seat and a long back seat.
Okay.
No safety belts because they haven't been invented yet.
Right.
And so you see he retrieves from underneath the front seat what looks like some kind of lockbox, steel lockbox, and places it on the seat next to you.
Mm-hmm.
And then gets on the lockbox and can now see above the steering.
Okay. I do not
You gotta
laugh.
do when you're short.
Yep. You see him reach into the dashboard where there is a sort of a small orb that's kind of suspended in this sort of greater circular recess inside the dash. And you see him grab the orb and then twist it about 180 degrees. And then you hear the car and feel the car begin to vibrate and roar to life. And sort of he grabs the steering wheel.
Like that again.
And
What is this?
grabs the steering wheel and takes a nearby lever and mashes it forward, and the car begins accelerating. Yes.
Oh,
In
nice.
a kind of a smooth glide.
I mean, obviously, I've seen such
You've
things
seen
before,
them before, but you've been in one. Yeah.
I have a million questions, and I do not stint in asking every last one of them.
Excellent. So you are now headed to Straub Manor, being driven by Windman in this fancy car.
Nice. All right.
Okay. So
Let's try living that up.
let's see.
Win.
Karaka.
Win bin or win min?
Wenbin. Wenbin. Yes.
Before you get started.
Karaka. Let me know what you are doing now when I come back.
That's an expensive car. Maybe that can be where I can get influence to make my union. Pay. I need money. Fundraising.
For some reason, I had a visual of a car from
I was thinking Captain America.
League of Extraordinary.
Oh yeah,
Like
that one
that
too.
white,
yeah.
huge one.
Yeah.
Like,
I haven't seen that in a long time.
this is probably the only thing I remember from there.
Yeah, because that was a very similar design to the one in Captain America that the one Nazi guy was driving at the end. Where it was like that two-seater, it was super long with like the 6 tires.
Mm-hmm.
That was so weird. That's
And there
all
were
I was
like 4
imagining.
wheels that actually in pairs turn because that makes sense.
Okay, so
What's your plan?
Karaka, where are you? Are you still in Poxborough?
I was probably in Poxborough, but
Near the
I need-
ironworks?
yeah, I need to find influence to get a new job to run that factory. It's been my God-given duty.
So what's your plan? How are you gonna make your case? Are you going about the district and like asking around like, hey, vote for me as boss of the ironworks?
Isn't this where your
Start a union.
isn't this where your mentor works?
Your guardian works there, yeah. Mhm.
That might be a good place to start.
Yeah.
Or this super fancy car that just left town.
It's up to you, Karaka. What do you want to do?
You want to chase that?
Yeah.
You chase the car.
just chase the car.
Start barking.
Biting at the wheel.
Start running.
Yeah, that won't cause any raised eyebrows
That's okay. Raised eyebrows is fine.
and heart palpitations. Okay, so you see this this kind of gleaming alabaster-looking angular core, which you've seen some before, and you've kind of admired it as it's
Probably been manufactured down here.
certainly parts were made down here and sort of refined.
Do we know each other? We're
We
both
might.
from Poxborough.
Probably.
You may have seen each other before, maybe not.
Okay.
You know, like maybe not a friendship or even an acquaintanceship, but you've seen each other around. Definitely.
Right.
So you notice that this alabaster car, which pulled out from sort of in the distance in Hunbrook, is now heading in your direction.
And you hear meow, meow inside.
Oh, I'm totally curious about all this.
I think I
Right,
try to
right.
like flag it down. Just like get in front of
Hitting a ride. Yeah.
Have you got any influence?
So this car, sure enough, it approaches you and makes its way kind of like off to the side on the street, and you can see it's on the left hand side. You see this piece of glass slowly retract into the bottom of this door, and you see looking a halfling man, a male halfling with a news cap. Yes.
I need you to help me.
Hang on.
There's this factory that I'm looking to take over.
Look, if you want to wash the windows, that's fine. I got a gold. You can have it, and then you can do your business, and then we can be gone. Okay?
I know this guy.
What?
I've seen him around.
Great. Yeah, he
You
washes
look like
windows.
a man of influence.
Okay.
Now we're talking.
With this car.
It's not mine.
If it's not yours, then it's your employer.
I thought you were going to say
So
you
are
stole
you-
it and dragged him out.
So are you a man of the people?
Immediately jump.
I'm a man of one particular person.
Because I'm looking to help support the people.
Just immediately jump.
Great.
to the
Well, I've got
worst
one
possible
person
Exactly.
who really needs some help. Are you good with anything
lot
besides
of
washing
things.
windows?
Washing windows is the start of everyone's life.
He's very
Hard work. It's the print. It's not the washing of windows. It's the hard work and labor.
I've heard he's very wise.
Shh, I'm trying to...
What kind of work do you need done?
Well, now look, no, don't get me wrong. I'm going to judge a book by its cover right now. You're a,
Sizable.
yeah. That's a lot more polite than I was going to say. You're a bigot. And it looks like you can handle yourself. Perhaps in more rough circumstances, right?
You work to survive.
I'll take it. Tell you what. Get in the back. I'll take you to see a woman of influence.
Sounds like the perfect plan.
Great.
What does everybody look like? It's driving me
Okay.
nuts.
I was going to get to that when everybody
Okay.
was at the
All right.
straw.
No, that's fine. Okay. We can wait then.
Yeah.
The gathering.
So, you extend your hand and you can see the glasses slowly.
Try to open the door for you.
No, it's back one, please.
Down seat up front.
And so you open the door and you see this long, sort of back upholstered seat And sure enough, you can see a back
Is that where you're sitting?
gentleman. No, he's in the front.
I'm in the front.
So I probably
But-
take up like a good portion of
The back seat.
The back seat, yeah.
this back seat.
As soon as you get in the
It
back,
just like sags.
this is the car kind
The
of
car very just gets a little bit.
suspension. As soon as you get in, I whip around to face you, and I say, "Look into the sand."
Karaka.
I've seen you before. I've heard you're very wise, but I don't think it can be true.
I don't know if I would call myself wise, but I am a man of the people.
You can't be very wise if you get in the car of someone you don't know. I got in the car of someone I
I'm a
don't know. I'm not
risk-taker.
particularly wise. This is gonna be fun, though. Watch what he does. And I whip around and I point at the halfling's hand as he's gonna.
Take a look. And the car begins gliding along.
I turn around. This is gonna be great. I turn back.
This man is quite excitable.
Yeah, tell me about it.
Like, do you roll down your window and like?
Head out, tongue out.
Cats wouldn't do that.
That's true. Yeah,
But
yeah.
Tabaxi
They're
might.
Tabaxi might.
too meticulous.
So,
Okay.
so what are you doing with your feet? It's like that all the way to
All right. Yeah.
So he wants
He
to throw you
fields
out.
like the first 3 or 4 questions, and then it's just stony silence for the rest of the drive.
I don't
I
let
turn
there
around
be
and talk to him
silence.
then.
Yeah, well, I mean, from Wenben, anyway.
All right.
So, the lot of you make your way to Lady Straub's manor.
Oh, are the rest of us going to, or just them two?
From the car, from Bounty.
Bounty, from your
Yeah, I was actually.
your construction of the horse automaton.
I would go to my store, almost like after the conversation,
Mhm.
and I didn't have like a horse automaton or a toy or anything, so I would, like, I'm on time, and I would probably disassemble like a lion and a couple like just of
Sort of cobble it together.
yeah, and
Yeah.
like just regular, maybe like a halfling figurines, and just stick together. So it's like instead of hoofs, they're like hands.
Right.
So I will,
Right.
and I will use like a mending spell, so it's like kind of works together. And
It's a weird chimera.
yeah, so in my head it looks like
Sphinx.
a sphinx, and it's like it's something new. Like,
Oh, right,
you
yeah. I know
ordered
you wanted
this,
a horse, but
it's like special.
Right.
Like, I made it just for you. It's one of a kind.
okay.
And with those thoughts, I actually go
It's
into
pizzazz.
House Straub.
Style.
Okay. Actually, you know what? Give me a Tinker Tools roll, and let's see how well this turns out.
We have
No,
a
I'm good at that. So what would it
Haven't needed
be?
it
Is it
so
like
So Tinker's Tools is going to use.
intelligence?
Dex or
Interdex, depending on how.
I'll
you wanna
allow
take it.
your
Choice.
choice here, Dex or Int,
Sure,
as
let's
a
go
mod.
with Dex.
and then add your proficiency bonus on top of that.
Twice because I'm a tinkerer.
Ah, yes.
expertise.
That's 23.
Very good. Okay. So as you are mashing together bits from the halfling figurines and the lion, you find out that almost a little surprisingly, you're pretty confident in your work, but there's a little bit of surprise there. It actually looks like you intended to build this the entire time.
You made
It
a
looks
living.
pretty slick.
Oh,
Yeah.
I look at it and I'm like,
keep an eye on it just
Huh.
in case.
okay.
It's
yeah.
almost as if you had the
Oh,
blueprint in your mind
yeah,
already. Yeah,
yeah.
maybe you
Huh.
can make more of these.
Oh,
Maybe this is
yeah. This will be a new hot thing in the market, I see.
Model 1.
yeah.
So this will be exclusive for
Lady Straub.
Lady Filomeno. Yes.
Bigger than the creature.
Do we have a reason to get you there?
I'll say, do we have a reason for me to be there yet?
Oh, that's right. Yeah. We haven't
More cowbell.
figured you out.
Someone ordered
Now I remember what I was
pictures.
going. I'm sorry. I'm breaking your immersion. So it's about what you reckon is about an hour and a half into your journey, the two of you.
That's a long trip. That's a long trip.
Yeah, it's a sizable city.
Of course, didn't travel that really
And
fast
of course, this thing doesn't get a terribly high top speed either.
either. 15.
A little faster than that, but not quite. You see Windbin sort of peering through the glass, the curved windshield, looking beyond. You notice that you have not left Poxborough yet. In fact, you've been doing this sort of like winding, almost labyrinthine sort of passage through Poxborough. You would expect it to be in Coldcrest by now.
I've gotten a little quieter now.
Yeah, you see Windbin sort of peering through the windshield.
I think I named every factory.
Shush, 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 shush. Am I seeing this right? Does that look like a... My eyes are not as good. Who's
Does it look like a...
Do you have a paper or something that you're comparing this face to? Or
No.
What are you
what's he
looking
trying?
for?
Can I see what he's trying to get me to see?
So he's looking down. He's looking through the windshield at a cloaked figure moving down a side street, or rather a sidewalk, I should say.
I think I get up and like the front. My chest is like in the front
For
seat.
God's sake.
Between
What's
the
your
kid in the back
poetry?
seat.
You see right there.
Uh-huh.
You see that hooded that person right there.
Mm-hmm.
Am I seeing things, or is there a little bit of a, point? Hood doesn't sit right.
Well, is there? Like there's horns under the hood?
Not as dramatic as that, but it does look like the hood sits a little bit of a nip there. Whereas
Like elf ears or something?
if a human was wearing it,
Are you doing some
or a
racial
dwarf was
profiling?
wearing it,
Uh-huh.
it wouldn't be that same look. Maybe an elf, maybe a half-elf, maybe a tiefling. Who knows?
Well, I
Something to look
affirm.
into.
Yeah, no, it does. Why?
Give me a second.
Is that unusual?
No. You're not going to keep doing this, are you?
Sorry.
Let me check this out. Sit down. So the car idles. Leras,
Leras, yeah.
you see idling next to you, not stopping, but just sort of gliding next to you,
It's cruising.
is this gleaming alabaster car.
With the Tabaxi's face pressed up against
Yeah, you can see along the glass on the inside. You see the face of a tabaxi gentleman, and then a halfling with a noose cap trying to sort of get all the tabaxi out of the way. And sure enough, the glass slowly slides down. And hey, you there?
Slowly turn and look at them. Finally stop walking.
It's the one. Great.
We're picking up all the strange people on the road.
Stop pointing it.
That's what I was going to say. This is kind of some weird story.
It's-
Grabbing one of every.
It's
creature.
rude and it's unsafe. Shut it. Excuse me, ma'am.
For those listening at home, he did a
Squirt bottle.
squirt bottle.
Are you Miss Trisley?
Who wants to know?
Everyone here can't just answer a simple question.
He asked me
I
a very
answer
similar
it.
question, only he used my name instead of yours.
Yes, I am. What can I do for you?
Great.
I answer
I have
those
an offer
questions.
for you from Lady Philomena Strong. Perhaps you've heard of her.
He always says that. It's uncanny.
I imagine you're the one in charge of this little group right now.
Going back to sulking.
Very thinly, eh?
Alright. Do you want me to get in the car?
Please.
Alright.
Just so we don't extend this.
I try to be as polite as possible.
This terrible
and give you as much
conversation.
room as I can.
I'll explain it on the way.
Sounds good.
Big one, make room for the lady.
Just like squeezing a small profile.
It's a little cramped, but
I'll
like-
sit up closer to the halfling.
You're like that guy in the plane. Like,
Yes.
Are you wearing armor?
Double wide.
Like Fat Man.
Almost certainly.
Is it like Fat Man in a tiny coat?
That man in a little coat. Yeah. Okay.
Well, I'm not so fat. I'm just.
No, you're just large.
So you get inside this well upholstered, very nice, top of the line Gatrell's car.
I have some well-paying clients. I've been in one of these cars before.
Excellent.
Just like
It looks like. I mean, it doesn't look.
fine.
It looks like standard issue. You know, it doesn't look any particularly
Not
different.
very often, but often enough that I'm not like,
Sure.
what's this?
Ooh,
What's this? What's this?
yeah.
What is this? Shiny.
Not like the Sandy over
Stories
here.
of cars like these. Where do they keep the liquor?
Usually, you should ask permission first.
There is. Gliding along. So, now that I've remembered that,
Thanks.
my apologies.
It's okay.
You
cool.
all converge on Straub Manor. The place is again. It's a vertical spire-like building in a almost like a Gothic style, a sort of half Gothic, half Victorian kind of look. You see, it's slowly kind of magnifying and looming over you as Wenben pulls the car up to the circle driveway and gets out, replaces the lockbox underneath the front seat, and opens the door first for Sandy and then for the two of you in the back.
I go out the door and immediately under the car. I just want to see what it looked like down there.
Just the tail. Like
Just
Twitch.
I am like the opposite of him. I am just standing
Please
there.
make your way into the lobby. Wait for me there. I'll have to get a broom.
What?
A broom?
I will walk forward and wait in the lobby as I'm supposed to.
I go
You don't
too.
get paid if you piss them off.
I'm watching the car though. I don't care about the house. The car is
So
fascinating.
you see that that Wenben has from a nearby sort of bin has retrieved a broom and he's making his way back to the. Oh, now you're out. Get in there.
Come on.
Oh, huh?
It's gonna chase you with a broom.
Oh, he's gonna keep
Come on, shoot!
But it's not a vacuum, at least.
yeah.
Get in there. You see him replace the broom, and as you walk in, he walks in and closes the ornate double doors behind him. And this place is it's a cavernous foyer with it's a massive building with fine marble and gilded accents and all kinds of polished wood and beautiful glass.
What did the undercarriage of the car look like?
The undercarriage of the car was surprisingly flat
Okay, sort of featureless.
and
kind of-
featureless.
Okay.
Yeah.
Disappointing.
Unfortunately.
It's right, exactly.
So you see Wenben sort of take off his news cap and put it under his arm, and he gestures, "Wait here. I'll fetch your lady. Please wait here." And I'm looking at you. Yeah, you. Stay with him.
Why wouldn't I?
I'll be back. You see him totter up the stairs.
Is there anything interesting in this room, or is it all just pretty?
It's just sort of pretty.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Any paintings or just
no, it's
Carpet to scratch.
just flowers?
it's just very nice. Some floral arrangements here and there. It's just a very nice sort of foyer and kind of open room that with a large staircase arcing off into a second floor and so on.
And nothing looks ancient in here.
No, it all looks very modern, very chic.
Boring.
Chic in a classical sense, that is. Like it's not avant-garde. It's very stately. So your carriage, Gabriel, arrives and sort of parks itself behind this alabaster car. You've seen tens of these in around Caldcrest. You see them all the time. And you get out and you approach the front door to the Straub Manor, and you find that it's slightly ajar. Which is a little
That's
unusual.
It's robbery.
So are there guards or?
No, it's just the place is...
okay.
Normally, you would rap on the door, and there would be some kind of attendant, and you would inquire about Lady Stromb or some important person in the house.
Yeah, I'll approach. I have the box with the automaton, and Theodore is following. I'll just get to the door. Is it like slightly open?
Yeah, there's one of the double doors that's slightly open.
I'll
It's like it didn't catch.
I'll knock
Okay.
gently.
You see the three of you inside see Winbin take a single step.
I can answer it.
No. No, you won't. You can, but you won't. Give me a minute. Oh, for bloody, you didn't even close the bloody...
He was nicer when it was just me.
Who the...
It started with me, wasn't it?
Yes, sir? How can I help you?
Around the same time.
Lady Philomena was waiting for me.
After we
and you also?
for a little while.
It's Tharmacogs, the order.
Yes, Mr. Tharma. Yes, right, for the order.
Yes.
I forgot about it. I'm so terribly sorry. Please, step
Yes.
inside.
I walk in.
Don't mind these individuals. Separate business, you understand.
Absolutely.
Now then,
Theodore
I'll
will
fetch... What the bloody hell is that now? You are approaching, just walking straight across the driveway. You're kind of very pointedly, very jauntily making your way towards the manor doors. You see in the doorway, there's one door open, and a halfling gentleman with a news cap tucked under his arm. Is it you? Are you in this too? Sort of calling out across the sort of driveway.
No, but whose house is that?
It's Lady Straub's manor.
I would like to have a word with
Great.
Lady Straub.
Come in.
All right.
Well, get a move on. I'm not going to hold the door forever.
Scurry on in.
So now the five of you are now sort of assembled in Lady Straub's sort of foyer,
I'm walking around Theodore, just sort of...
looking at the.
I'm not
the automaton.
poking at Theodore.
Oh yeah,
I'm
you're just examining it. Yeah.
looking at all the little...
The child's I'm not touching you approach.
Audience here. How does this?
Asking the wrong person.
I was thinking group, just all go at once.
Take turns asking questions.
All right, it's your turn. You tag out.
Got it. Yeah.
The thing is, confuse her and then take advantage of her.
So
We all win.
now that you're all
She
here
loses.
in this foyer, let's hear what you look like. What's and kind of a. It doesn't have to be, elaborate. Just in a kind of a rough sketch. What do you look like? Tall are you? Colors? Like your cut of your dress. Like, what do you look like?
Gray fur on the face. You get kind of the white splash from throat down, and then kind of that red accent along most of the rest. 3'7", looks pretty lightweight, probably about 40 pounds. Is wearing a small little leather duster, which is open. Underneath you can see kind of like desert wear, very loose, like satin or silk type clothing, and pretty good sized boots, go up to about the knees. A large blunderbuss has to be worn at an angle to actually fit on her back without tapping the ground, and a belt of ammunition, more so a sash, really.
Kind of a bandolier acting as a sash.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Unusually short for a tabaxi. Just sort of around human size, maybe a little smaller. Kind of a brindled color, with some pretty ordinary clothing, a little bit worn around the edges, and that's about it, really.
Okay.
Not a lot to
simple look.
distinguish him. Yeah, not a lot to distinguish him. He's got a pack. It's not like a big backpack, but it's sort of a
kind of like
day pack.
Okay.
Yeah, the kind of backpack that you might wear over one shoulder sometimes, or
right, like a maybe a messenger bag of some kind, like a satchel.
Sure. Yeah, your 19th century version of that.
Mm-hmm.
Probably made out of leather and
sure.
Yeah.
Karaka?
Exceptionally large.
Of course, even for a half orc, or compared to
Probably for a half orc.
Okay,
Even. Just
Occasionally mistaken for a Goliath.
or maybe a full orc. Like the male pattern baldness, kind of look on the head, but like pretty long on on the sides,
gross. Sorry.
and pretty long beard for an orc, and it's braided in two.
okay.
Are you in fact green?
Yeah, green and what else? Wearing more like dwarven style kind of armor. Looks
Sure.
homemade.
Oh,
Looks
okay.
homemade.
So it doesn't look off an assembly line.
Because normally the style is made for a lot smaller
Smaller
people.
So that's clearly handcrafted material. Okay.
It's real vanilla.
Laris?
Well, she wears a cloak most of the time, but she is pretty much.
Just a cloak, just nude underneath?
Yeah, absolutely. No, she's
Exhibitionist.
kind of covered in tattoos from like the chest area down.
Mm-hmm.
But she's super pale.
That's the flash.
Super bright red hair. Dressed like a man. She's got trousers on and a button-down shirt and like the coat with the cloak on it.
Sure, yeah. With the hood.
And
Yeah.
she's got kind of a messenger bag thing going on so she can carry her camera. I don't know, she's like 5'6", 5'7", lanky, pointy ears.
Okay. The slightly pointy ears of a half elf, right? Not quite full
Yeah.
antennae of an elf.
But she keeps the cloak up because otherwise she's really easy to pick out on the street.
Speaking of antennae,
Yeah.
Gabriel?
Well, I have a hat.
Of course.
Like a big one. I'm wearing more of like
Like ear holes in the
I
brain.
have probably not as like nimble
just
elf
like folds.
body type, more like human-like.
Mm-hmm.
Skin is slightly to the like pinkish purple side.
Mm-hmm.
Clean shave, shortcut hair, really dark cape, almost like a overcoat.
Yeah.
And a green vest. And Theodore is wearing just like straight up black tuxedo.
Right.
More like a really Undertaker look with a top hat and this like huge cello case on his back. And yeah, he's just carrying all my stuff. Like he has a pouch to his back and the cello.
Okay, so this motley crew is assembled into Lady Straub's manor. And you see Wenbin, he has gone up and sort of scuttled up the stairs and taken a turn up onto the greater part of the second floor. And a couple of minutes pass. And appearing at the top of the stairs is a snake. Roll initiative. No, it's
Pretty good.
Just trying to keep you on your toes.
21.
Damn.
Is a female human, average height. She's lean in a noticeably unhealthy way. She has a kind of like a kind of peachish complexion, but it's got a little. It looks like it's grown a little wan, right? She has kind of black hair and a bob, kind of slightly unkempt. Like it's not completely straight and done. She's got. You can see her with these sort of light blue eyes, with a kind of her eyes are kind of a piercing quality to them, with but heavy makeup around the eyes for some reason. A small old vertical scar you can see even from here, tracing across her right eyebrow. So to you it looks like the left, right? dark green waistcoat, long white sleeve ruffle shirt. You can see poking out the ruffle kind of look. Dark brown leather pants, kind of musketeer style fold over boots, but they have heels, so they're more fashion rather than function. Long high collared black overcoat and leather gloves that she is removing at the moment as she is making her way down the stairs. Behind her, Wenbin is trailing.
She comes down the stairs. I will take my cloak down. Don't worry.
You see her pocket the sort of stow away the leather gloves and come to stop in front of you with a kind of a heavy sigh.
We'll stand up as she enters the room.
Okay. Mm-hmm. She takes a good look at the lot of you, and she says, "Good evening.
Hello.
I am Lady Philomena Straub. I'm sure you are aware of me. We will dispense with this, with the introductions, and go to the heart of the matter. Wenbin, will you leave us, please? Of course, miss." And he scuttles off to the side. Gives you a kind of a begrudging wave. And scuttles off.
was supposed to say lady, not miss.
I'm not
Marvelous.
keeping track anymore. I've completely lost.
It's a pleasure to meet you in person.
She offers a handout in the noble style.
You should take it.
It's tough.
Yeah, I'll.
Not a shaker?
Yeah.
You let Theo do it. Theo, shake.
Clank!
No, I'll respond, but in I know polite manners. I just choose not to follow them. So I will just like that slight moment of her questioning, is this really happening? So, but then I actually do it.
She sort of retrieves her hand. She did register, but she's not going to make any kind of comment about it. I must admit, I was hoping to see you, Mr. Tharma, under better circumstances. Unfortunately, I have a very severe matter that I feel your expertise can attend to. The expertise of all of you, I understand.
How'd you know me?
Yes, you're different. What are you doing here?
I had some questions about the recent robbery.
Perhaps you will get along after all.
Oh.
Robbery.
I will explain.
Robbery.
My manor was recently burgled by a rather difficult gentleman by the name of... What is he calling himself? Is this?
Drebma.
Dressed up drama.
Exactly. Trebma. As you say, a goblin.
Unroll the little poster.
You can see here. This gentleman has been burgling.
I think that's right. My lady.
Close enough.
I have a very well paid for education, and even that I am sometimes befuddled by the common language. This goblin has been terrorizing and burgling noble manors here in Coldcrest for the last month, and I am the latest in a long line of victims. He has broken into my private safe in my study on the second floor, taken a large portion of money, personal funds, not tied up in business concerns, mind you, and some private documents, sensitive documents, which I wish to be returned, but that is not the reason I've called you here.
I'm like holding the box in my hands, and I'm like, just like a sort of like a. Oh, okay.
I don't think this is about my Winnick
If
statue.
you say so.
The burglary was unfortunate, but I have a different task I require of you. I need you to find someone. A woman. I need you to find her, discreetly, retrieve her, and bring her here.
Is it a protection? Protect this person, bring her here, escort her, or is it nab her?
More of the first two.
Oh, okay.
She will come willingly if you say you are here.
That's what I was.
If you say that you are there on my behalf, she will come willingly. She kind of, her hair kind of droops in front of her face, and she takes a moment to she breaks the statuesque kind of noble bearing for a moment and sort of hunches over. It's clear that she's tired. Whether the recent stresses have put her in that position, whether it's a physical thing, whether it's a mental thing, it's hard to know. But she has clearly broken a kind of a noble protocol by essentially relaxing in front of you. You see her sort of swipe the bob hair out of her eyes. I'm in love. And my love and I cannot be together in the city. It is not only unseemly for a person of my station to be involved with her, but also dangerous. This burglary, as unfortunate as it has been, has given me new perspective. I don't care about these things anymore, these trappings. I want to be with her, whatever cost, and I plan to leave this city and this manor and my people behind. But to do that, I need you to fetch her and to bring her here safely. This is of the utmost importance. I come to you to do this with a heavy heart. This is the most important thing in my life, and I'm willing to pay dearly for it. But it is a solemn responsibility that you must commit to and uphold. And if you fail, or in any way spread this information to the nobles of the other houses or to the government, I will do everything I can to make your lives a living ruin. I say that not out of malice, but of desperation. Is that clear?
Absolutely. What's her name?
You can believe me, lady. You can trust me.
There's a box here.
Oh, don't worry about it. It's like I will. Yeah, it's oh. How do we? This is it's where I keep my valuables.
No, I will.
It's a bomb.
What's in the box?
What's in the box?
So
To Lady Friend says.
oh my, this is important because like I don't go to places to sell this. Like people of wealth come to me
to buy.
So yeah, like if she ordered something, she knows. Like, and I brought it here, and I'm presenting it on one hand. I open it, and the box unfolds on itself, and there's this abomination of. It's not a horse for sure.
It's a unique automaton.
Yeah. There's this automaton, and it's started dancing, like flipping hands and tails and legs and wings, whatever it has there.
There's a flash of recognition across Lady Straub's face as you get down. You're going to present this box. And there's a kind of...
Yeah, this is not the right time. I see.
There's a kind of sadness tracing across her face, but also a little bit of amusement at this thing.
This could be gift for friend when you meet.
Yes. I had forgotten.
I understand this is not the correct time to ask.
It's a perfect time. She
About
would be
payment.
very pleased.
So it is for her.
Just keep digging. Just keep going deeper.
But we can talk about this in time.
Mr. Tharma, you will get the money you are owed and then some.
Absolutely. And I'm absolutely will carry your secret and try to help you with your task.
I appreciate it.
And I bow a little.
Takes the box.
Yeah. I give it to her.
Her name is Jessa.
Does she have a surname?
Odziri. Odziri. And Jessa is spelled Jhessa.
Okay, hold on. Let me spell the first name right.
Jhessa.
Oh,
Jessa.
well, I made 4 mistakes.
ODZ.
Odziri. Odziri is the surname.
Where
Jessa Odziri.
did you last see her?
I must comment that I am not certain that is her actual name. It is almost certainly a name of convenience. You understand?
Alright.
But that is the name that I used, that she asked me to use when I met her, and that is the name I will call her.
She only knows this name.
Is it odd to ask about their race? Like in this society?
Not particularly.
No,
I mean, like I said, Marasma's majority human, but there's enough, racial diversity in that other percentage.
So I will very cleverly ask about that.
Okay.
Is do you mind sharing the
Personal details.
species of your?
She's a human.
Okay.
I don't mean to pry, but you said it was unseemly for the two of you to be together.
And dangerous.
Is there a particular reason why we need to be aware of when we go to look for her?
You see Lady Straub visibly swallow.
Poxborough.
What? Jessa is a brick maker. She is of the working poor.
Right.
She's a noble.
I'm the foremost noble of House Strand, above even my brothers. I would be stripped of power, influence, wealth by the machinations of the nobles of the other houses if they had this sort of leverage on me. And I don't care for it. I'm willing to let all of this, as I've said, go. But if anyone knows, before Jessa and I can leave the city, there could be great consequences.
Absolutely.
So I cannot be with her in a conventional sense. I must be with her on other terms.
Do you know anything about where she is? You said to find her. I take it she wasn't abducted or kidnapped. She just lives in Foxborough.
She lives in Foxborough?
Where do you usually meet together, or how your meetings?
I'll start listing off some of the hotels that people frequent when they are doing something on
Like cheap motels?
I mean, I know these places.
Yeah.
That's what I freaking do for a living.
The brothel.
No, nothing is. She has a small home. It's not much compared to this manor, of course, but it's suitably warm. It is not far from Half-Cocked Tavern. I'm sure you are familiar with it.
Yeah. You expect her to be there?
Yes.
Right.
Then why do you require our services? Why would she not just come to you disguised and you leave together alone if she's not being held against her will?
I cannot see her myself. At least, not in any lengthy capacity. And especially not looking as I do in my public persona. If she was seen walking straight into this manor, if I were seen escorting her to this manor, the press would have a field day. The nobles would have a field day. I would be ruined. The house would be ruined. My brothers, inadvertently, their fortunes ruined. Sheerly out of spite. And I cannot afford that. But if she is seen walking with, and you, excuse me, simpler people, that is not unusual. Discreet people who are able to bring her to this manor unseen, through side streets, through unconventional access. Well, they can do things that I can't. And I'm willing to pay for those things. You see?
Hmm.
I can't trust myself or my staff to accomplish this. We are neither skilled nor have the
Patience? Because that boy seemed easily irritated.
the pure strength of will to see this through and done expertly with precision. I myself am ill as of late. I would do this myself were it not for these dangerous factors.
There's one thing the common man can do, is exercise accurate precision in work consistently.
I think it might be best if I do the talking.
I would agree with that. No
Thank you.
offense.
So are you going to be my spokesperson?
No. This looks like the lady's job. Where... Does anyone suspect? Do we need to worry about being followed?
The recent burglary has caused undue scrutiny on my house, myself, my staff. We are in the news. There will almost certainly be agents of the other house's hirings that will be watching this manor and all of its goings on with a very credulous eye.
Renewed vigor, so to speak.
Indeed.
Pardon, my lady. You mentioned that there have been some documents, papers stolen from your personal vault. And I respect your secrets. No need to talk about that. But is there? Do you have maybe a suspicion that those documents might lead to Jessa somehow? Someone who took them.
Do we need to track down the goblin and get those back for you?
I think it is merely a coincidence.
None of those documents refer to Miss.
Now that you have all accepted this work, I don't see the problem in letting you know. Amongst the private documents in that safe were several sketches. Intimate. Of Jessa. I was very, I felt great worry, and I am, sad to admit, embarrassed, even the touch of shame, at seeing them taken, exposed. I have a more traditional portrait that I have sketched remaining, that you are welcome to have, so that you may identify her.
I don't want to,
Yeah. Like the drawing room,
Yeah.
I don't want to overstep my bounds, my lady, but are you familiar with... I'm going to assume you're at least familiar with the kind of work that I do.
Yes.
It is in your best interest to get those back. And I think you know that, do you not?
I am aware.
So...
all that is important for me now is Jessa.
So
If I
Jessa
can-
first, then the goblin.
I don't care. If Jessa is here with me, if we can leave the city, travel back to the old country, or anywhere, and be free of all this mess, this tangle of political nonsense and social maneuvering, I would not care what anyone knows. My brothers can withstand, not to be so crude, but pornography found in my home. What noble does not have erotic pictures?
More than you know, my lady.
Openly loving a peasant girl, marrying her, even? That is beyond the pale.
I will blush on my own thoughts. Just, oh.
Such an awkward group as we always are.
Well, I mean, we just met.
That's true.
Yeah.
Don't even know each other's names at this point.
True.
I've never asked this before, so this will be fun.
Oh boy.
What's everyone's passive insight?
I don't know.
Yes.
Is that 10 plus
Insight.
Passive insight or passive
it's
perception?
the same way you calculate.
Well, passive insight is like passive perception, except it's 10 plus
Insight
your...
modifier.
It's the same way you calculate passive perception.
Yeah, but it's
Proficiency.
using insight instead.
Yep.
Right?
Do you get proficiency or not?
Yes.
Well,
If you have
If
proficiency.
you're proficient in insight, then
I
yes.
don't.
Yeah,
Okay.
14.
11.
So
11.
I am
Also
proficient in insight. So yeah, 14. 10 plus my insight.
Yeah,
That's right, okay.
basically, yes.
So it's 14.
14.
10.
10.
11.
11. Okay. Thank you.
Do I need to roll for insight?
No, because it's passive.
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 Yeah.
But,
Right.
we're awesome.
Unless we start
So-
grilling.
So who had 14s? I'm sorry. Just the two of you?
Those, yeah.
No.
No.
I'm not.
Oh, I see. So the two
We
of
have
you.
11s.
Two of us.
Yeah.
Two of us.
So we
Yes.
have wisdom.
14, 11,
Karaka
10.
and Sandy.
Yeah.
So the two of you, you notice in Lady Philomena's body language, you've already noticed that she's clearly tired. She's already stopped kind of holding herself together to a high sort of standard of noble practice or noble bearing. There's also a kind of a tight-lipped, tight-jawedness to her.
Yeah.
Like clenching?
A little bit, yeah, the slightly clenched look about her. And you can't tell whether that is tiredness or from this illness that she has or what. But there's something off.
Mm-hmm.
Does she have super tetanus?
No.
Okay.
Does not have super tetanus.
That we know.
So, my lady, it seems that
First, I'll just ask you out of character. Are there other towns around? Is this the only settlement anywhere?
No, there are smaller settlements out on the frontier.
Okay, all right, and ports.
Yeah, yeah. It's entirely conceivable that using a sort of a control-powered sort of
Train.
country car or like a smaller like train or something, you could make your way out of Marasma towards the coast that Rodaland initially landed on, and like
Right.
you get in a port town and get on the docks and go. Yeah.
So back in character.
why not simply meet her elsewhere and go away? Why
get her
do
down
you
to the
need
docks.
us?
You see her kind of take a deep breath and begin to sort of kind of ball her hands together. This stays in confidence, of course.
All of this does, doesn't it?
Just as a Dampier. You understand what that means.
That is a very important detail.
What does it mean? Can she go out in sunlight?
They can, yes. Unlike, say, traditional vampires, they can go out in sunlight. They still have to deal with like the blood thirst and everything like that. But like awakened undead and other things like that,
They're not.
they're shoot on sight
Yeah.
in Marasma.
See, it didn't make quite as much sense. Oh, peasant girl. Now it makes more sense.
That's definitely makes more sense. Absolutely.
But I'm still not sure that answers why they can't just meet in another city.
I think part of the problem is getting that information to her.
Yes.
When was the last time you've seen her?
But I mean, hey, I won't complain for a high-paying job.
6 days ago?
Did you have plans to meet again anytime soon? Or was all that put on hold when you got burgled?
This burglary has taken my mind. I am scattered. I am not as prepared as I would like to be. We had talked about meeting again, made no particular plans. I only mentioned that in the romantic way that one does, that we would go away sometime soon. We would be free of this.
So she's not expecting to see us.
I would like that portrait, if you please.
The sketch, of course. And you see her start to walk back up the stairs and towards the second floor. She stops at the foot of the stairs and turns. Study, my private study is up here, where the safe was located. You're more than welcome to examine it should you need to.
Heading up.
I was going to suggest it if she hadn't.
I'll follow.
Also, what check would I roll to see what I know about Dampiers?
Dampiers?
Yeah, specifically like feeding habits.
Yeah, no, that's...
Yeah. Yeah.
We always do this.
Do we need to take a guinea pig or something in case she needs a snack?
History, Arcana,
pretty
nature.
Yeah. It's...
That'd be a religion check.
Religion?
Yes! I'm an ex-cultist.
Because of the unique nature of Dampiers.
You've been taught.
Makes sense.
Normally this would be like, if there was such a thing as a
that's not
lore
bad.
check, this would be a lore check.
This would be... No, I've apparently heard absolutely nothing about them. As
I'm
I
not even
rolled a
trained
one.
in religion.
Ah, look at that. Look at that.
Yeah, I got a 13 and I am trained
Yeah,
in
I got
religion.
3.
3, huh?
Yeah.
3 whole points.
No.
18.
Huh?
4.
I'm
I
just
rolled a
distracted.
1.
Great job.
I'm just distracted that I'm not getting paid tonight.
9.
I mean, that's
Yeah.
pretty
So,
distracting.
so if you're not my spokesperson, are you my lawyer then? Is that why I'm not supposed to talk?
Representative.
So Karaka, through your kind of clerical studies, right? You're not an expert on Dampiers, but you know roughly.
I'm not even an expert in religion.
I mean, not even that. Well, not in other religions, right? You're really good at Moradin, but not even that.
Not a trait.
So you know about Dampiers. You know they are born of traditionally a male vampire and a female human. Usually this male vampire is coming back from the dead, right? And either consensually or not, having intercourse with this human woman. And then this child is born, which is both vampire and human at the same time. Sometimes these Dampiers are deformed. There's something about the nature of the process of the vampire and the human parts kind of trying to meld together that leads to these illnesses or deformations or
Eating jaws.
sometimes. Sure, why not?
Abscess.
But you know that occasionally Dampiers will be created that are more vampiric than they are human, in that they are supernaturally
charismatically beautiful.
beautiful, right? They
Sparkle
are
in the sun.
no sparkle.
Thank God for that.
Oh,
That share a lot of the benefits with their vampiric forebears, but also don't suffer their weaknesses necessarily. They can walk out in sunlight. They usually have to have some kind of... They'll walk with a parasol or like slightly heavier clothing because it is an
Straw
irritant,
hat.
right? But they're not going to melt in the sun, right?
Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Yeah, they don't have as many weaknesses as a vampire does. You also know that most religions lump Dampiers in, regardless of their sort of unique lineage, in with vampires and the undead, just the general undead, and are of the opinion that they're abominations and should be eliminated.
She's a break maker. She's a hero.
What?
She's a brick maker. She's a hero.
Sure. A working class hero. It's something to be, I understand.
It does seem an odd
Dream
profession
big.
for a Dampier to take on.
Well, if you're trying to stay alive and not get noticed,
yeah.
might
Just
not
stay
be a bad
low.
way to go. You know what I mean?
Get to work
Not
inside.
nearly as good a way to go as nobility.
Be out in the
Strange
sun
that-
all day.
Do they hire for
money
nobility?
difference.
Yeah. How do you?
No, but
Apparently they vote for bosses at the end. So could be anything.
Okay.
it's
Got
also
an end.
strange that
Well, I was thinking
Lady-
the power vacuum that's going to happen when she leaves.
it's also strange that Lady Philomena is so unwell and looking so pale and wan.
Yeah.
Should I do something not so sneaky and try to see what she's sick with?
I have my
I have-
suspicions.
I have some
Is she
training.
she's wearing a high collar, isn't she?
Her sort of great coat, right, around her overcoat, I should say, has a high collar to it. Her actual shirt, the collar, the ruffled kind of shirt, does not.
Okay.
So you can easily see, like a
Necklines.
180-degree arc of the front of her neck, right?
Okay. So she didn't seem to be trying to hide her throat.
Not particularly, no.
No, the hickeys are all over the body, but
I'm
not,
just gonna say-
not there.
In other places.
They're not necessarily on the neck.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm good.
Sometimes they're on the
If
knee.
they are, yeah, if they're...
The bees knees.
Bees don't have knees.
Let's investigate.
Wait.
Don't they? Do they?
Oh, it's still strange.
Cat
And-
pajamas.
Let's
What are the
investigate
odds that this
the-
goblin robbed her because he knew that the pictures were there?
It's a bit too much of a coincidence.
But he has been targeting every single other noble.
He has been targeting others, but it's possible.
Not every single noble.
So not every single noble, right?
Yet. He could just be
We
waiting.
should look and see
He's
what.
burgled a lot of manors, but he hasn't hit every single noble house.
Takes time.
Noble manor, I should say. There are many manors within that.
Wonder if we can find out what he's
He
stolen
could
from
be
other
at the next manor right now.
Who knows?
Yeah, it's true.
My furry friend. What's your name?
Which one?
Which one?
The small one
Which one?
that doesn't talk.
This is Sand.
E.
E. And
Sandy.
Sandy. Karaka.
All right. Nice to meet you. And you are?
I'm Kyoko.
And
Gabriel, Dharma.
oh, that's right.
And yourself?
Leras. You said you were here to find the goblin. We should
Yes.
perhaps know more about his crimes. Perhaps Lady Straub can find a connection between the places that he has been before.
It's quite a list. I could definitely ask. But I'm more interested in that safe right now. Once she comes back, I'll ask.
Absolutely.
I want to see what's in this library.
Say, why are we going up to
In
the
the study?
study?
Yeah, you're heading up the study
Yeah.
with
Walk
Lady
and
Straub.
talk.
Okay, yeah, she opens an oak paneled door, and sure enough, there's a finely furnished Victorian style study. Large sort of bookshelves lining top floor to ceiling with all manner of sort of old and new books. Lots of collectible sort of folios and so on. There's a kind of a walnut desk with a fine. What do you call those things that go on the top? You know what I'm talking about?
Oh,
Yeah, I do.
The
A writing
Like the
pad?
felt writing pad?
the felt little
Yeah.
bits that go on the whatever that is.
It's
Goes on
always
the top.
green.
Yeah.
Runners?
I don't know what they're called. And she, you see that she approaches a portion of the bookshelf, sort of in the middle of the room on the bottom side, towards the floor. And she removes several of the books, and behind you can see, set into the wall, is a slightly ajar safe door made of steel.
Okay.
So does she leave or?
No, she's still there. She's removed the books, and she's sort of standing there, kind of off to the side, just letting you do your thing.
Investigation.
Yes, investigation.
Investigation?
I'd
gonna-
like
I'm
to
gonna
get in
do a
there and try to
ritual.
figure out how this happened.
Ritual.
Please do, yeah.
Give me a second. Get the candles out.
I'm going to do a ritual of detect poison and disease.
Detect poison and disease. Okay, so that'll be 10 minutes. So let's get the investigation checks first.
13 on that investigation.
13.
I'm just going to ask her some questions because that was not good. We've investigated genius.
Yep.
Lady Straub, how many people know
I
where
don't
the
get like
safe is?
advantage or anything, do I? I just rolled really rotten.
No,
Oh, we
Not
haven't
in this
rolled
case.
fortune.
Yeah, we haven't done fortune.
that's true, but it's too late now.
Too late now.
This is the introductory session. We're going to do some fortune. We will need to when you get shot at.
Can't wait.
So, what was everybody's investigation again? I'm sorry, you got a
13.
13.
I'm
Anybody
doing
get
a-
higher than that?
13.
No.
13?
Same.
What'd you get?
I'm doing a ritual. So
Oh, that's
I'm
right,
not
yeah, that's right.
investigating.
Okay. So the place looks. The study itself looks pretty clean. It doesn't look like anything's been disturbed. It looks like maybe the room has recently been maybe slightly tidied up. Maybe there was an errant book or a discarded ink cartridge or something like that that's been sort of taken care of, right? But that's just simply probably the duties of the house staff, right? The safe itself, sure enough, doesn't look to have been forced open, pried open. There's no kind of source of magical or mundane, read explosive means of opening the safe. It just looks like, sure enough, this safe was cracked open by somebody who knew how to do it.
Because it's a combination?
Yeah, it's one of those
so
twist-style combination
you wouldn't
locks.
see like abrasions from trying to get a keyhole.
Windows, doors, like...
There is a single window to this study. It's on the sort of the western side of the room, facing outward, towards the front of the house.
How well can goblins climb?
Yeah, what's outside?
Not too well.
Like, we're in the second story?
Yeah, you're on the second story, and the window faces out towards the front of the house, where the driveway is and everything like that.
Is the time
So it's a
of
little
innovation.
exposed. I
You
mean,
can have like a
There's no
grappling
other window
hook.
in here?
no.
Is there a
There's a
fireplace?
grappling hook on the... yeah.
How
You have to
how
be
do
very
you
skilled to grapple up and not break the window.
and not be seen? How
No,
is-
What's
maybe
below the
you
window?
hook it on the roof. And
Below
then
the
you
window?
just
Yeah.
climb
So you're looking
over
down
to
through the window, you can see that there's the sort of the side
Well,
of
we should be able to
the
find
front
evidence
part
if
of the
that's the
first
case.
floor,
Yeah.
right off to
Or he
the
took it
the
out.
right. You can see off
Took
to
it
your
with
left
him.
the sort of the,
Well, no, it'll
the
leave a
small
mark
set of
wherever
steps
it
that leads up to the
lands.
double
Oh, I
doors
remember.
right to the front.
There
Then
should
you can
be
see
some
the
damage of some
driveway arcing in front of it with,
Okay.
sure enough, Lady Philomena's car.
Directly below the window, against the wall of the house.
There's
is
a
it
small
garden
row of
or-
hedges, like
Okay.
a small hedge.
Okay.
Classic.
But other than
So it's
that,
a hedge.
Yeah.
A hedge. It's not a flower bed.
yeah.
Hedges. Nice for.
I'm assuming that if I were to just climb out this window, it would probably draw attention from the street.
Probably,
Yes.
yes.
Okay.
It's exposed to the street, so you would.
Okay.
How late
Well, I
is
don't want to. I don't want to do anything indelicate.
What?
How late?
What
Like
time is it now?
Yeah.
It's about midday.
Okay, yeah.
How are you doing your
Um,
ritual?
My lady,
Like, are you...
I would like to examine
It's in-
the.
it's in the room.
I would like
I
to
don't
examine
know.
the shrubs that make the
Like-
window, if I
I
may.
just imagine a carpet
Fine.
and you're like dripping
And if you have
salt
the
all
opportunity,
over.
If someone climbed
Candles.
the wall to get to the
I know,
window,
this is
they would
why I
disturb
wanted
the
her to
hedges
not
and
be
all the
here.
broken
Like,
branches.
Give me 10 minutes.
I see your point very well.
Well, how
So do I just go down?
I mean, she sort of gestures for you to take
Okay.
your leave.
I scamper down.
how is the room when? How do you think he got in?
I'm not certain.
There was no.
We found
Was
it.
anything out of place?
We
besides-
found this following morning. Several of the books, the ones that I have removed in front of the safe, were scattered about on the floor. Other than that, the place was pristine.
With all the political intrigue, I think you mentioned. I know that you care only for Jessa, but have you considered the idea that it might be an inside job?
That's what has crossed my mind. Certainly.
I'm
It
sure
is
you
Fucking
don't.
halfling! I knew it!
I'm sure you don't tell many people the location of your safe, whether or not they work in a house.
Now everyone knows, of course.
Sure.
where it is.
That's before.
Before I was the only one.
Have you had your staff in here to clean up since? Or is this as things were?
This is as things are. As they were when I found them. I assumed that this would be
Well, she took the books
Useless.
off the shelf,
to the police or to other investigators if I were to tamper with.
so she had put the books back.
Did Jessa know where the safe was?
No.
Did you share the idea that she might have been bitten and etc.
Oh
etc.?
yeah.
Okay.
Wait, no, I didn't know.
we haven't
I thought
leaned
she had
into
left.
that.
Haven't broached that
Yeah.
subject.
No, I mean, I think we're all thinking it, but no one's saying it. I specifically asked him not to talk.
I had misunderstood it at first. I thought that she had left us and sent us up to the study to go
Yeah.
get the picture. And in that case, I was thinking that we were all talking.
yeah,
but
yeah.
if that's not the case, then I wouldn't
Yeah,
have been
'cause-
blabbing
'cause-
that right there in front.
No. She accompanied you.
Yeah.
She's retrieving
Because that's
as
why I
you're
wanted
looking
to
at
do
the
the
safe. She's
ritual
retrieving the
afterwards.
sketch from her desk.
Okay.
Oh, the desk is in that room, not
Yeah.
somewhere else.
No, it's all in the study.
Okay.
So, what does Miss Jessel look like? in the sketch?
You can see that based on the sketch, it's obviously not. It's out of it's a charcoal pencil or something like that.
Just take a sketch.
It's like
Take a picture of it.
It's like a sort of a portrait style. It's
She
like
might
from
not give away.
the top of the chest up. You can see she's got shoulder length hair. Based on the shading, probably light eyes. Maybe a sort of a. Obviously, this is a black and white illustration, but light eyes. And she has.
Is she smiling in the picture?
It's kind of a soft smile. Yeah, kind of a
Get us in.
not cheese, but more of a relaxed kind of.
Fangs?
No fangs.
Just sharp,
Edited those out.
Just making sure, yeah.
sharp canines.
And she is unnaturally beautiful. She looks. She
She's
looks
Dampier after all.
picturesque.
I don't know if
Even
that's the
even
bias
through
of the artist or
the
the
artist's pencil, it
Dampier.
seems like she's a beauty for the ages.
And does it indicate if her hair is light or dark?
Based on the shading, it's probably somewhere in between.
You can always ask
Right.
her.
I will, yeah. I'll ask what color her hair and eyes are so I can identify her better.
Lights, light brown.
Okay.
Eyes, grey, bright.
Do I see anything on the ground underneath the window?
So you've made your way down there.
No,
Yeah.
I just scamper down.
Okay. Yeah. You see that the hedge, compared to the other sections all along the front, it seems a little.
Ruffled.
It's a little ruffled. Yeah, it seems like it's a little less trim and kept as the rest of them, like it's sort of contiguous.
Like it's been recently broken or trampled, or like it was never in very good shape here.
Like it might have been recently messed with.
Okay. Any footmarks or anything like that?
Investigation, please.
Maybe
Since
I'll
it's a
actually-
new place, we can do a new roll.
Actually,
Maybe you'll get more than a
My
3.
investigation is actually quite good. I just have to roll something.
You have to roll on the table.
Try that again.
We're same,
Okay,
There
that's
you go,
better.
There you go. There you go.
same quality of investigator.
22.
22.
Wow.
Okay. Yeah, you notice distinct sort of imprints, very light ones, but imprints towards the rear of the hedge, closest to the house, in the shape of.
Well,
It's kind of like it's clearly digits of some kind. It's hard to tell whether it's maybe hands, maybe feet. I don't know, but it's formed in such a way that it looks like something.
They don't look like goblin footprints for sure.
It's hard to tell.
I mean, they've got boots on.
But it's like it's got fingers, right? They're
Like digits, yeah,
yeah.
Unless they're wearing.
you see some pads
Shoes.
and some like
yeah.
holes for the digits.
So it makes sense to be like either fingers or toes based on
Like-
the flattening here and the holes here and there. From a distance, if you were just walking up the driveway, you obviously couldn't tell.
All right.
Now that you're right up on it, yeah, sure enough.
Interesting. So they could be toes. If they were toes, would they have to be really long, crazy toes? I mean,
No,
okay, they could be ordinary toes.
yeah.
Okay, so but whoever did it was not wearing shoes,
Or they could be fingers. Either.
or
Hard to tell.
Or they just have bad shoes and their toes are sticking through their
any
shoes.
signs on the wall of like scuffs or rope fibers
No,
or
clean.
okay. I'll go back up, report my findings.
Has it been 10 minutes?
Yes, it's been 10 minutes. You were detecting poison and disease,
Yes.
and you were doing that on her, I assume?
It's within 30 feet.
Okay. Yes, so you get a ping immediately from Lady Philomena. You know that she is... It's not a disease that you are familiar with. At least from the old country. It doesn't... Nothing in the books about this. She's suffering from some kind of wasting illness. She is slowly being... She's slowly wasting away, essentially.
Must
That-
be flu.
Sort of anemia, maybe some sort of anemia.
Not necessarily. But she's clearly getting thin and wan and tired, and whatever is keeping her together is beginning to fall apart, you know, and is getting sapped out of her.
I have my suspicions about this.
Jessa.
We're gonna have to have a talk as a group after we leave.
Yeah.
Actually, poison. I guess that'll probably be less of restoration.
Well, with that information, we'll bring tonight to a close.
It's like thinking, restoration.
So 10:39, so we're a little bit past time. But
It's okay, I don't have to work tomorrow.
Yay!
Oh,
Feels
3-day weekend.
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
Oh,
Glorious.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Enjoying it
So good.
already.
Strength.
So,
I love my job, but
how did everyone feel about that?
Once we got the
That's good.
together.
Yeah.
I could go for another hour or so.
Yeah.
That's a good sign.
Well,
Mm-hmm.
Always a good sign.
at first it was hard for me to wrap my head around the Victorian setting, but
You got to get yourself out of that high fantasy.
Yeah,
setting.
exactly. I kept slipping back into all my mental images being of like medieval cities and stuff.
Right. Yeah.
And
That's when I made the connection. I'm like, I could just be a photographer.
Yeah.
What? That's crazy. Let's do that. You know? Yeah. Yeah. Good. It's fun. I like it.
yeah, I'm enjoying it a lot. This is going to be fun.
Yeah, awesome.
I'm liking the wrinkles and complexities we're getting already.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
I found my goal.
You found it.
Just immediately.
I'm just confused.
It's better than nothing, right? Better than
What am I
feeling
doing
nothing.
here?
At least you feel confused.
At least you feel. This is the delivery from your order.
Oh,
I love that image of you just being
And
like, nothing.
this
I
is
didn't-
Awkwardly
I
holding a
didn't
box.
bring anything.
oh, this is mine. I just brought it before. This belongs to me.
I just carry it around with me, despite this automaton behind me that carries
Yep.
stuff.
It's fashionable.
yeah, hey, it's a
We
man
all-
purse. It's fine. It's unisex.
We all carry boxes of them.
Yeah.
This is what we do.
Cool.
That's what the common folk do.
They carry around all these crates, and then the nobles are like, I think I'll do that. Cool.
That makes a little too much
Right.
sense.
It kind of really
actually.
does.
Yeah. Okay, well,
Every fashion store.
there was a little bit light on the actual sort of mechanics, but that's because we're trying to get everybody
we gotta
together and
Getting things rolling.
get things rolling.
I
so-
like doing the day in the life thing, though.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that was fun.
It's really
Yeah.
It does help us get a better understanding of who we and everybody else is.
Yeah.
That's usually when I figure out who
Yeah.
I am.
Yeah, I'll hold on to it. Sure.
It's like I'm bad at like the pre-planning. It's like, oh yeah, this is the character I want to be. It just happens usually. I just figure it out while we play.
Like a little bit of that pre-planning, and then as you play, you further discover who. Get into the nooks and crannies.
So, there's a chink in my character. There's a hole here that I don't know that I can fill. And that is that my vision of this character is of someone with athletics and acrobatic skill, but neither my race, my background, nor my class gives me access to either of those.
Oh, that's fantastic.
I know, isn't that great?
Due to
I mean, I have a
backstory,
climb
sounds-
speed, which means I don't have to generally don't have to make climb
So
rolls.
you're not doing it necessarily with gymnast like precision
Right.
or speed, but like you can do it because you're
Mr. Baxter.
You've got like a
So,
natural.
but if I
grace.
want to have those skills, I mean, is it 4th level where you get the ability to maybe get a feat?
Yes.
Or,
You can get a feat
or-
on 4th level. Yeah.
and you can also, instead of that, you can get like what, 2, 4 skills? I don't remember. A certain number of skills you can.
In this edition, you get
I think
Um,
it's
2 or
Maybe
2
it is
skills
three.
1. Or wait.
yes, that's for attribute
Proficiencies?
points.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
So in this edition, you get like +2 to 1 attribute score,
Plus
or
1 for 2.
2 +1s to distribute, right? Or you can take a feat.
Almost there.
And
think
one
it takes-
of the
I
feats
think
gives
it's
you
3
3
skills.
proficiencies
Yeah.
in wherever you want.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so
I
you'll have to
can-
take that feat.
And that's at
Yeah.
4th level, right?
That's a 4th
Yeah,
level.
okay,
Or
so-
if you have money beforehand,
you can do training.
if you can find a guy, train. That's a way that you can get some proficiency in one of those
Okay.
physical skills.
Technically, backgrounds are also customizable. That includes the skills.
So you could tweak that
That is true. Backgrounds are meant to be
flexible.
Flexible
Yes.
like
Oh,
that.
okay.
So if you wanted to sub out one of your backgrounds proficiencies for something,
like that.
and make it your own sort of distinct background, and that's fine. Yeah, that's,
Can I?
that's
like
So can I
acrobats running
trade
around.
sleight of hand for one of those?
yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the backgrounds, it says specifically in the core book, and like people glide over this all the time, is that you can make your own background
But-
and you can edit
But
the other
tabaxi
background.
with sleight of hand, it's like that Puss in Boots from Shrek. It's like, you can't even feel it. Its fur is so soft. It's like, how did you do that?
Sleight of hand is cool,
Yeah.
and I would like to have it, but the
acrobatics.
acrobatics is
Acrobatics
so
is stronger.
Yeah.
is so critical to the
So
character.
yeah, once you hit level 4, if you grab the skilled feat, that's 3 skills or tools of your choice you
Yeah.
gain proficiency in. So you could mix and match that if you wanted to pick up some other tool proficiencies.
But
Yeah.
then fourth level.
It's a long way
So
away.
much power. No, there's just like
Oh, there are lots of other things you
it's
can
like
get besides
yeah,
that.
it's like 3 proficiencies or
feet or boost up.
Yeah.
I could make
real good
like
stuff.
a lot.
You're
Yeah.
missing
I could have a 20 dex.
Yeah, it's
like
nice.
Yeah,
that would be
think
cool.
of that.